everyone, OldSkoolPokemon here, back again with the Pokeflipz podcast, joined by my usual co-host, KetchumAllCollectibles Dan. How are we doing today, Dan?
We are we're surviving. We're surviving in this boom. It's been a hectic week, but we are getting through it. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Staying busy. It is very busy, but we're doing good.
It's we were just saying like 90 seconds ago before we went live. 2 weeks ago on this podcast, it was the day before Pokemon Day. We had PK Ponga on. We were in full shill mode. This one's gonna be a little more low key. I guess we'll recap how the streams went that we were pumping hard 2 weeks ago. We need to talk about starters. Let me actually do the YouTube thing. I'm terrible at this.
God, let's just skip starters.
We got to pull them up on screen.
No,
let's start with this. Let's start with the starters. We'll pull those up on screen, and then we'll all pick our favorites. Let me see if I can find like a high res thing. Holy, this is terrible. Surely there's got to be a high res thing by Pokemon themselves. Maybe there's not.
You think there would be?
Here's a Eurogamer thing. Holy, they're all terribly low resolution. What are we doing here?
Terrible starters.
I'm gonna do size large in Google Images, and yeah, I'm still
French cap. That is cap right there. They could not possibly be any worse.
Oh man, Nick, we're gonna be
shocked.
We need a little more disagreement on the pod, so I'm glad we're gonna have some disagreement here.
You actually like them?
Oh, it was just like Gen 9. It was an obvious call to go with the bird for this one. The bird was the pick. Let me share screen.
No, they're I don't know. They're so dumb.
There is no doubt.
Awful.
There is no doubt the pick is Brout. Green Angry Bird. Come on, what are we doing? That's an easy pick.
Angry Bird.
I'm a dog person, but like I'm not a big Pomeranian person. I'm not really feeling Pombon. It was not it just doesn't hit. I don't know. I'm not feeling Pombon. Gekwa is like the clear number 2. I think that's the hierarchy. It is Brout, Gekwa, Pombon easily. I think I've seen most people going for Pombon though, which kind of surprises me. I think he's for being like the best pet, the best domesticated animal, a dog. He is very, very just underperforming. But yeah, there's no doubt that Brout is the pick here.
No, it's not that easy of a choice.
Oh, Nick, look away.
Grimer. Can we block him, mods?
Peak is on your side, though. Stephen Kassoon likes the water Geico.
Geico.
I think Gekwa's fine. I saw a meme. Let me actually see if I can find the meme. Let me stop sharing for a second and see if I can find it. But it was
they're all dumb. I don't know.
Nick, are you bearish? Is the boom gonna end with Gen 10 then? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Boom is coming to an end. Boom is coming to an end. Market is gonna crash when Gen 10 comes out. No, I thought the same with Gen 9. I don't like change. I did think the Gen 9 starters were decent, but there was none that I like really, really liked right out of the gate.
Do you want a Pomeranian with Talonfire? Do you want a Green Angry Bird? Or do you want Sobble with big eyelashes? This is one that I found on Reddit and shared in Discord later that day, I think. Later Pokemon Day. But I was on the train. I watched Pokemon Presents, whatever it's called. I watched that live. And Brout was the easy standout for me. Where were we, Nick? Do you remember? Remember when Gen 9 premiered? We were at an event. We were in a hotel room.
We were in Orlando, Collecticon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't it Pallet Town? Wasn't it?
Pallet. Brandon and Chris were with us. Yeah,
Yeah.
we popped it up on someone's laptop and watched it.
We tried doing it to the TV. We couldn't figure that out. We did it on someone's laptop. And Quaxley, it was love at first sight. He was the obvious pick. And Brow isn't quite a crack Quaxley, but Green Angry Bird, he's up there in the ranks for sure.
No.
But yeah, let me get back on this one. Yeah, Brow is the play. Gekwa, I'm getting like Greninja-y vibes. Might be the final evolution. I'm a fan of Greninja. I can vibe with Gekwa, but I'm really not feeling Pombon. I'm feeling like the final evolution is going to be Pyroar-esque. Nothing really wrong. Nothing really against Pyroar. It's just he's definitely last in his class for this Gen 10 draft class.
See, if I have to pick one, I'm going Pombon, whatever the furry dog.
Pombon, yeah. I'm gonna see if I can get into the YouTube back end and start a poll. See if we can poll our 31 current viewers between vertical and horizontal. And I think I'll only be able to do the poll in one though. I don't think I'll be able to run a poll across both lives. I guess we'll see what happens with that.
People should be watching on the regular live. Don't be watching there on half my face is cut off.
I keep trying to lean in. Let me see.
Make an option that Gen 10 sucks. Don't forget that option.
I'll put that as a fourth option. Starter. So we're gonna do Brout. We're going to do Gekwa. I'm going to put them in order. So first to last. I don't know if I spelled Gekwa right, but whatever. We're booming. No time to check spelling.
I do agree with you, Zard Lurking, that I do think getting the actual cards and seeing the evolutions, I do think that'll help me actually get a favorite starter. Because like I said, I felt the same way with Gen 9. Not as bad, but I really didn't like the Gen 9 starters when they first got released. And then after seeing the cards, I would agree with you, Dan. Quaxley was the way to go. But yeah, no, this gen is awful.
Wait, this is showing. I think I accidentally just voted for Gekwa. Hold on, we need a recount. It's highlighted on my screen. Like it shows like I picked Gekwa. I started the poll and it like auto voted for me. This vote is rigged. We need a recount. My vote's in for Gekwa, but clearly it's for Brout. So we got Pombon is coming in last from our little poll here. Pombon, people are agreeing with me. Quite a few people, more people saying they all suck than picking Pombon. So, oh man, that's funny. Kiki must have had missed word here. Hating new Pokemon is the most take in the hobby. Probably like most terrible take in the hobby it was supposed to be or something.
I think that's a popular take. I don't think people like change. I can't be the only one who doesn't like change.
It's the most basic take he meant to say. It is a super basic take. It's way too easy to just hate on everything new to fear change. I'm all about it. Like I want there to be 20,000 Pokemon someday, long enough timeline. Once we're in the second millennia of Pokemon, there will be that many. It'll be interesting to see how they navigate those waters if and when they last like for literal millennia. But 1,025 Pokemon. They're not all for me. They're not all my favorite, but I'm all about it. Keep expanding the universe. Keep us going through these periodic booms.
No, kill off all the Pokemon. Just stick us with 151. Just every set is 151 with different artworks.
We do need 251. We need all of Johto in one set badly. We actually need better than that. We need a 251 that isn't just 152 to 251. We need just Kanto and Johto. Give me Crystal version. Give me Pokemon Crystal TCG, and give me all of Kanto and all of Johto in one set. That would be the set. That would be that. And then the other thing that we talk about a bunch is the Super Smash Brothers Poncho set. Those would be the two sets that would propel us to new levels never seen before.
See, I was never big into Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, loved it.
I don't. Mario Kart. Now that's the game. Was there? I don't know. I was just a button masher with Super Smash Brothers.
see, that's the thing with me. N64, I can consciously play N64 and I can know what I'm doing. I can consciously, I'm a Pika main. I can consciously, like, I'm precisely taking actions. When I play Melee, when I play Brawl, it feels too fast. It feels like I'm literally just button mashing, especially if you're playing with 4 people. I'm in a pile, like, just pressing every button, trying to see what happens. But N64 was more my speed. And funny enough, like, Mario Kart was my game in my childhood. So I don't really have nostalgic memories of Super Smash Brothers from like 90s. I played so much Smash in college. Actually, I played obscene amounts of it. I remember we had a PS3, we had an Xbox One, we had all that stuff in our dorm room. But the N64, playing Mario Party, playing Mario Kart, mostly playing Super Smash Brothers. That was the system by far that got the most usage out of all the ones that we had. Childhood, though, I played it a couple times. I think it was fine. I wasn't really good at it. I didn't really care for it that much in my childhood. But Renaissance, Super Smash Brothers in college for sure. Yeah, Nick definitely a Brout hater for sure. Nick doesn't even like Pokemon.
Oh God.
Let's see. I'm gonna Grout Gang. We got Galaxy and the Grout Gang.
Brout Gang. We're losing our poll. Brout is in second place.
This is
Pombon and Brout are tied.
Pombon has this is clearly rigged. So I guess I could share my screen, but I'm paused on a commercial here. Somehow it voted me for Gekwa, and it's not allowing me to change. I'm gonna open up like 10 other browsers and just get. I'm gonna pump the numbers for Brout.
Get those numbers up for Brout.
Pokemon IP would go to the moon if they did an open world pixel game from Gens 1 to 5.
Wait, what is a pixel game?
I don't know. Exactly. Can't wait for you to support our stream team in 10 days, Nick. What's happening in 10 days?
10 days? I have no idea. I was going to say like the get together, but that's a month from now.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's happening in 10 days. What's happening in 10 days, Grimer?
Grimer should change his name to Grimer Hater. I'm not memeing. People will master set the hell out of Brout. That guy has a huge following. Yes. There's no doubt.
It just got announced. What
He's a green Angry Bird. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, he means like I guess like 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit graphics, whatever the appropriate ones are. Pixel technology, bro. What they used to make games from black and white and prior.
Oh, okay. Ooh, Grimer's doing $1 start, no damage, 9tails in 10 days.
Ooh, that's what it is.
I'm excited, Grimer. I'm excited. I don't know. I've been going back and forth with myself. I don't know if I want to bid on it or not. Part of me wants to bid on it and win it. The other part of me wants to see what would happen if I didn't bid on it, what it would go for. So I haven't decided yet. I guess it'll depend on what I'll be in there watching it. And if it's super cheap, I'll probably bid on it. But if it's going well, I might hold off and see what happens with it. That'll be a really interesting card. I'm really, really excited for that.
XP Share Video Games says I'm probably in the minority that Pombon is my least favorite. I'm right there with you, so we're in agreement on that.
XP Share, I normally agree with you. You're dead to me.
The Hobby Bin challenges Dan to a Smash 64 12-character battle. I haven't played in quite a while, but I brought my N64 to, like, was it New Jersey Collecticon, and then I didn't even end up playing it really. I think I played a game or two maybe, but it's always hard. The Airbnb though, in a month I'll have to have my N64 there. I'll have to see if anyone will partake in some N64 Smash for sure. Yeah, Melee has way too many frames for me. I'm not all about that 60 FPS or 30 FPS life. I need my 6 FPS N64. But yeah, As always, so let me do the thing I usually do at the beginning. As always, we're gonna be here till, I guess we didn't talk about it, Nick, before stream. 4 p.m. 4 p.m. probably. I have a little bit I have to do after stream.
That works.
So we'll be live for another 2.5 hours. Ask your questions away. You got some high-level Pokemon businesses here in the chat, in the live stream. So ask us any and all questions, and we will get to them eventually. Stephen Kassoon has the first one of the day. Are we booming still or again? Both. We are still booming. We are again booming. We are yet to boom still. We are still early. So, yeah, that's the many answers to that one seemingly simple question, but very deep, complex question.
Yes.
And then I guess before, so I'll let a little backlog of questions build. Let's talk about Pokemon Day. So last time we were here, I mentioned a little bit, we were pumping our own streams. We both had our own thing going on. How did and I watched your video. I watched your video just yesterday. I watched your video like 6 days late. But how did Pokemon Day go? Let us know how the streams went and what you hit and whatever you want to share.
That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. Really successful weekend on eBay Live. I've always, you guys know, I've always believed in eBay Live. I've been on there for years, and over time it's been improving. I think about a year ago was finally the time that I said, okay, this is actually something that's going to be a thing. So they've been going well, but Pokemon Day weekend was like the first weekend that I like really saw the potential with eBay Live. There was so much happening across all the streams. There were so many new people in all the streams that were happening. It was just such a fun weekend to see everything that eBay did, and all the new people that were hopping on eBay Live. So it was awesome to see all that. But for myself, it was a really good weekend. We hit 6 of the bounties, which was cool. We did a jungle and fossil box break. The jungle box was kind of meh. We got a Snorlax hollow.
Oh, okay.
So that was cool. But aside from that, it was like 2 Venomoths, a Wigglytuff, a Victreebel, a Vileplume. It was all like the worst jungle hollows that you could possibly get. But the fossil box was so much fun. We pulled 2 Dragonites, an Articuno, a Zapdos or a Moltres, and then some of the other regular hollows too. But that was awesome. Saturday night with my big single stream, had a really good time with that. Got to auction. It was funny. We auctioned it was a PSA 10 Greyfelt hat that sold for $19.25, which I thought was solid. But then 2 days later, the price jumps up to whatever, like $2,800 that they're at now. So I forget who won that, but whoever won that did very well for themselves.
You love to see it.
And then Sunday was good. It slowed down a little bit on Sunday, which was to be expected because we went really hard Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So Sunday slowed down a bit. And for those of you who don't already follow me, we did a nice little YouTube recap, and it's actually funny to hear my progression throughout the recap. Thursday night is when we started. I'm all excited, ready to go. Friday, I'm doing good. Saturday, I'm doing okay. Sunday, I was dead.
It was funny to watch the progression. I saw somebody mention it in the comments too.
I completely lost my voice. But yeah, overall, really fun weekend. Walrus did not enjoy it. He had a lot of packing to do. It was kind of funny because planning for Pokemon Day, I had talked to him and said, We're gonna do the regular streams, and we're gonna add in like 2 afternoon streams. So I was figuring you'll have a little bit more packing than normal, but I don't think it'll be much because the afternoon streams we're only gonna do 36 auctions per stream, so 72 extra auctions a day, 150 extra auctions in the weekend. It won't be too bad. That was not the case whatsoever. I think it might have been the most packages we've ever had. It was wild. Nice. But no, it was so much fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It definitely reinvigorated me and brought back, but definitely made me more bullish on eBay Live. How was your thing with Fanatics?
It was a really good time. So yeah, me, PK, Ponga, we all met up in New York. We went to the Fanatics studio. The guests were great. We had Noah Lyles, we had Sarah Natacheni, got to talk to them a little bit pre and post stream, got to interact with them on stream a little bit, open some packs. We haven't done it yet. I still haven't gotten the raw video footage from Fanatics yet, but we're going to do a little like short, high edited video with us racing the fastest man in the world, Noah Lyles. We all beat him. So me, PK, Ponga are all faster than the fastest man in the world at opening packs. So we raced them in
I thought you were talking about like a running race. Okay.
No. See, that's the thing. We're gonna do the thing. We're gonna say like, I beat the fastest man in the world in a race, and then it's gonna be like in the very fine print asterisk opening booster packs. And in mine, I'm not going to mention that PK and Ponga beat me. They beat me. There's some disagreement between them who won. I think PK opened his final pack first, but I think Ponga was sorting his bulk a little bit better. So a little bit of like a photo finish, a little bit of like drama around who's on the podium in first place there. But I came up in third, and Noah missed the podium. I mean, he got fourth place, clear cut. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We gave away 30 grand in stuff. Little bit of darkness opening up. So we opened up 15 grand worth of sealed to give away. And people know how opening sealed can go. We had a stacked team up box. We actually pulled the we didn't pull the Latias, but we pulled the Gengar Mimikyu alt art. It was pretty wild to actually pull an alt art from a Sun and Moon box. And we hit one of the lower like Gengar Mimikyus as well. We had good pulls. It was a very solid box. We pulled a Sylveon altar, I want to say, from one of the two evolving. No Moonbreon. That would have been crazy. That would have been awesome. Noah ripped a Venusaur from his Japanese base set pack. And then Sarah ripped a Nidoking, which she doesn't voice any of the final evolutions that have hollows in base set, but she voices Nidoran. So I guess she pulled like the grown-up version of one of the Pokemon that she voices. So that was kind of cool too. But yeah, it was a blast. And I see all the questions rolling in. I'm starring them as we go. Habibin says our community member hit the alt-art Gengar. Love to see it. You do love to see that. So it was nice to turn a $10,000 sealed box not into $1,000 of singles. We turned it into like $3,000 of singles maybe. And then if that card hits the 10, maybe we turned it into $5,000 or $6,000 worth of singles. We only destroyed half the value of that box if that happens. Maybe they black label it. Maybe it's a $30,000 black label or something. Maybe we actually made money. Who knows? But it was a blast. It was a really good time.
That's good. No, that looked like I was able to hop in for a few minutes. That looked like a good time. You guys had a ton of people in there, which was cool. I was fully expecting more people. With the maybe the ads were just targeted towards me, but I could not escape those ads. They were everywhere.
You love to see
it. What did you guys peak at for viewership? Did you ever break
1,313. So we set a Fanatics Live record. Tom Brady has been on the app. Dude Perfect has been on the app. They've had many different stars on the app, and we set the record. We did like break the app as well. We actually there was a global outage, like global for like the entire app. We broke auctions. So on a Friday evening, pretty decent. Like it's not as big as eBay Live. It's not as big as Whatnot by any stretch of the imagination. but we broke auctions. There was like an hour of downtime with auctions platform wide. So we definitely had less than we could have had we not broken the app. Yeah, they sent out like a mass email that like we had to end the stream and we had to roll people into a second stream. And it was good though. It was good. They said that they learned and they saw new things and they stress tested and they will find ways to scale beyond it. And I told them too, like, let us be your stress testers. Like when you're ready for 2,000, let us know. We'll make 2,000 happen. When you're ready for 5,000, let us know. We'll make 5,000 happen. Let's grow that number together. But yeah, Pokemon is absolutely booming. What's your thoughts? What's your take on like everything going on right now? Are there any like vintage cards that you bought? You mentioned Gray Felt Hat. There's so many cards that like from a month ago are doubled, whether they have 10,000 pop, whether they have 25 pop. Some of those cards have tripled and quadrupled. And reverse hollows. Have you seen all the reverse hollows from EX era? Oh my God, it's insane.
Absurd. It's absurd. looking at James's Instagram stories is wild.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I have not bought anything.
What's your take?
Nothing like to spec on like that. Hold for a week and sell for double the price.
I'm actively doing more as we speak. I've been buying some stuff, mostly privately, but mostly through my hot buy list, mostly through people that are selling. Some people consign with me. They also sell to me from time to time. And some of them are gambling. Like, hey, I know I can consign with Dan and I can get 95%. Some of them are like a month ago. They're like, I'll take my double up. I'll take my money. And they sold to me for 90% instead of consigning, waiting a couple of weeks and getting 95%. On risk, I bought them. I auctioned them myself for 95%. And it's like my 95% was of double the number by the time it curated in and it went for 10. Like I've been taking a couple of risks here and there. At some point it'll probably bite me, but I had 6 figures in slabs I bought on spec in early in the new year. Fanatics Instant Rip stopped buying from me, and I'm like, let me hold some of these for a month or two and sell them around the 30th, sell them around the Logan Paul thing. I was at the dentist this morning, and my dentist was like, I saw a Pokemon card sold for over $10 million. And he's like, was that real? Is that? And I told him the whole backstory, and he had heard of Anthony Scaramucci. And I'm like, yeah, it was his son that bought it, and talked about the dinosaurs, talked about all the other things that he wants to buy. We are booming. We are booming like I would not have ever believed was possible 5 years ago when I quit my job. No. It's so nuts.
It is. It's wild. It is wild.
And we are booming this hard. We have 14 starred questions in our backlog, so I guess we better start making our way through the starred questions. Dan, when are we getting a video about your worst opportunity cosplay of all time in the Gray Felt Hat Pikachu? That play will live in infamy forever. It's so crazy. I'm always gonna try to keep that one. If and when the card goes to 25 grand or something, maybe I'll have to sell it. But I have one PSA 10 to remind me of that play. Kind of like how I have one Evolutions booster box to remind me of that play, of that era, of that time. It's crazy because it's like John and I bought those at 125 a piece. We bought a $50,000 case, and we planned on making 4 or 5 grand each. We planned on like cleaning up. We planned on, and we ended up making 40, 50 grand each. And in hindsight, had we just held them, we would have made hundreds of like 100,000 plus each. It is obscene what is going on right now. Low pop cards, high pop cards, everywhere in between. And then you've got some cards like trophies and Japanese promos. And I'm specking. I think like it did last time. It took a while. It started up here with the modern, with the booster boxes, Vivid Voltage, and then it like trickled down. Actually, last boom didn't it go the other way? Didn't it start with vintage and then go into modern more? I don't even remember exactly the trend of it. But this one like started in modern and going more vintage, and I think at some point there's going to be an uptick in some of those trophy cards, some of those promos, and I'm fine being wrong too. I'm fine owning some of those for a bit longer than I intend to. We'll see what happens, but yeah, it is so crazy. It is so crazy out here. I can't believe every day. I can't believe the new things I see and hear, and I think we're still early. Nick, are we early? Is this the pre-boom?
No idea anymore. I have no idea.
We're early. I'm pretty sure we're early.
I don't know. I keep going back and forth. With myself. I'm flying home. I don't know if it'll happen. I'm flying home this weekend, and I'm debating on picking up my booster pack collection and bringing that with me to Collecticon, because I'll be vending Collecticon in April. We'll see. That's what I'm thinking right now.
Might take a little off the table.
Well, if I sell it, if I sell it, it'd be everything. I'm not going to sell little bits and pieces. But I've also been thinking that for like the past year, and I haven't done anything with it yet. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
So I sold a complete booster set collection. I think it was only like, it was first edition. It didn't have unlimited as well. It was just like highest rarity, highest whatever. But I think it did have Shadowless. I think it did have fourth print. I sold it to Rusty back at the Hartford Collector event in 2019, must have been 2019 because my son was there. He was dressed up as a little Pikachu. 10 grand, I think, is what I sold that for. All base set first edition, all Sky Ridge, all legendary collection, all artworks of all sets. And do you have an idea? Like what is that worth today?
I have no idea. I would imagine it's gotta be. It's easily over 100,000. I would imagine it might be close to 200,000.
It's gotta be pretty damn close to 200,000, if not slightly even. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it was $250,000 almost. I guess it depends. And are they unweighed? They're probably mostly light, right?
I would imagine most of them are lights. Because I was buying them in 2016, 2017. But even back then, weighing was a thing.
I was selling you some, I think, when I opened boxes. I think I remember doing some deals with you for when I was opening some of those mid-era boxes, and I was selling off light art sets to help fund that. There was you, and there was a few other people. I was building my own set.
Yep.
It's insane. It is insane how much value there is in that. It's really cool, but like where I always went to with my stuff, it's like it's sitting in a vault, it's sitting off site, it's sitting in the dark somewhere, and I'm too broke to put it out on display and appreciate it. So that 10,000 that I got from that sale to Rusty, how many times that snowballed and what it went into, I don't remember exactly what it went into, but it's become big things for sure. Like all the money. Crazy. Is the Hidden Face Charizard underrated? In 2019, 2020, it was everyone's chase.
Oh God, this is Walrus's alt account.
Is he on the pump?
Something Walrus would say, because he graded a pristine 10 Hidden Face Charizard, and he loves that thing, and I keep telling him it's ugly. I do not think it's underrated. I think it is. It's a bad Charizard. I don't like that card at all.
I think it's fine. Is it underrated in today's market? I think there's very little, if anything, underrated. I think one of the underrated things that I can point to, and I'm not pumping my bags, like I bought them because I think they're underrated. I think like trophy cards, I think Japanese promos, I think anything that's down 50% from last boom, maybe not anything, some things that are down 50% from last boom, kind of blows my mind. How certain cards, like relative to Black Label ponchos, relative to cards that I don't personally value anywhere near. But place your bets and see what happens. That's always what I say. I have my thoughts. I have my speculations on where the market will go. I've made a lot of correct ones, and I made a lot of money off of them. I've made some poor plays. I've made some poor guesses over the years too. But I've generally, 2014 to today, I've generally been in an increasing market. So like it's hard to be wrong too frequently. I've been right significantly more than I'm wrong, not necessarily because of skill, more because of the entire market's been moving up around me throughout the entire time. Walrus's alt wants to know Dan versus Nick in arm wrestling. I don't think I have the build for arm wrestling. Maybe that's just cope, but I don't think long arms help. I think the leverage works against me. Same thing goes for like bench pressing and things like that. Having the height, like me versus Nick in basketball, absolutely me. But I feel like I might take Nick in arm wrestling. I don't know. more the build for it, more the structure for it. But yeah, I'm not sure how that would go.
We'll have to test it out in whenever that is, April. I think you would win. I think you would win. I don't know. I don't do physical stuff at all.
Me neither. We'll both be doing 12-ounce curls at
exactly.
Timmy McGee wants to know, what can stream ask to make Dan's blood pressure boom? I was live last night for like 2.5, 3 hours, whatever it was.
You're old. You're crazy.
The questions that always kill me are like just the most generic things where it's like, I need more info. It's like, how much money do you need to quit your job to sell Pokemon full time?
Mm-hmm.
How much money do you spend, and what kind of business are you going to be partaking in? Cash flow, because like the things that need tons of nuance, and a lot of times they're probably just asked as a meme. They're probably asked to just get me riled up, get me going. But some people seriously ask that and don't realize that there's nuance. So, like, should I buy Prismatic Evolutions right now? What's your time frame? What's your goals? How much money do you have? Are you buying it on a credit card? Hell no. Do you have $1 million and you know the risks and you feel like making some money potentially and you know the downside? Blah, blah, like, sure, who cares? We're booming. Go for it.
We're booming.
Oh, here we go. Timmy McGee says the world's strongest people in arm wrestlers are all 6'3 plus because they fill their frame out and don't have shit leverages. If you're frail and tall, you have shit leverages though.
Ooh.
So maybe I'd be good then. Maybe a hidden future job opportunity if Pokemon fails me.
Become a professional arm wrestler.
This one's gonna jump to the front of the line because I see the I see the slander in chat. Zarlurking says, I think Dan is a bland guy when it comes to toppings on his burgers and dogs.
I can kind of
might prove him right. I might prove him right. But you go first.
You always talk about how you like with barbecue. You don't like barbecue
just
sauce.
The meat.
Yeah.
So I like barbecue sauce, but I like A1 sauce, but I never put it on a good steak because I want to taste the meat. I don't want to taste the sauce. If I want to eat A1 sauce, I'll eat it with French fries or whatever. But you go first. you go first, and then I'll go. What are your toppings on a hot dog or a burger?
So hot dog, you got to do diced onions, relish, ketchup. That's my go-to. I do also like chili dogs. Chicago dogs are actually really good too. But normally, if I'm having a hot dog at home, it's got to be grilled with a toasted bun, not a steamed bun, and then onions, relish, and ketchup. That's my hot dog.
Fancy.
For a burger, again, it's gonna be medium, a little bit of pink inside, toasted bun. You gotta do. I always go American. You can mix up the cheese a little bit, but so it's gotta be cheeseburger, and then sliced onion, lettuce, tomatoes, mayo, ketchup.
So. Hot dogs, I am. What was it that Zarlurking said? He said, I think Dan is a bland guy. I'm pretty bland when it comes to hot dog. I don't eat a whole lot of hot dogs. If I do, it's usually just a plain hot dog. I don't do ketchup. I don't do mustard on anything. I don't like the condiments whatsoever. So I've thrown hot sauce on a hot dog. I've thrown chili cheese. Like I've done those. I've done onions. I've done all that kind of stuff. But rarely am I in the mood for a hot dog, but if I am, it's usually a ballpark Frank on a toasted bun right off the grill, and boom, that's it. Pretty clean, pretty bland, pretty plain. Burgers, though, I get exotic. I'm not a huge fan of like McDonald's, Wendy's, any of their burgers. But if I go to a burger joint and they've got like a Western burger, they've got peppers, onions, mushrooms. Give me bacon, give me egg, give me onion straws, give me barbecue sauce, give me A1, give me blue cheese, give me bacon. Like I will put anything on a burger. I mean, so I'm pretty bland when it comes to hot dogs. Don't eat them that much. I don't even eat burgers a ton, but when I do, I'll usually go fairly out there. Give me Swiss mushroom, give me American, give me cheddar, give me any and everything basically. And I'm like a medium well guy with burgers. I don't know why, but I'm a medium rare guy with steak. The ground meat and all that stuff, it's just like I want that to be cooked a little bit more. Medium well. I used to have a coworker. We used to go out for lunch to a burger place down the road from where I worked, and he'd get his burgers like rare. And I just can't do it with ground meat. No. I'll eat a rare prime rib. I'll eat a rare steak, rare ribeye, whatever. Walk it through a warm room, and I'm good with that. But he would do that with burgers, and I just can't get there with ground meat personally.
No. Speaking of burgers, have you tried the Big Arch Burger at McDonald's? You said you don't like it.
I haven't, no. And I've seen a little bit of like the whole meme thing going on with the McDonald's CEO. Did he spit it into his napkin? He took a tiny bite, and then Burger King and Wendy's and all these other CEOs are like putting him to shame by like actually eating their burgers. I've seen a little bit of that meme going on.
That's good. That's gold. It's actually pretty solid. I was surprised by it.
Is it mayo based? I'm not a mayo guy either. It's probably mayo based.
Mayo. It has like a relishy Big Mac sauce on it.
See, I'm not a fan of the Big West sauce. The Big Mac sauce, like Southwest sauce that at Subway. I'm not a big fan of mayo-y things, or the Big Mac sauce, which I think is kind of mayo based. Thousand Island dressing, any of those kind of things I don't really like that much. But yeah, bet this guy likes his chicken well done and not rare too. Boom, where we could all be making millions. What's your hot dog order? It should have been framed in that way. If you're at Cardinal Gaming buying your $7 hot dog, what $3 toppings are you putting on your $7 hot dog?
Charges for toppings.
I'm going with the base, just the base $7 Oscar Mayer wiener or Ballpark Frank. I'm going just base $7 hot dog for me.
I can't believe you're not on. That's like a what? So what do you do on July 4th?
Burgers.
You do like steaks and stuff.
Steaks or burgers. A lot of times, like clams over the summer. Yes, like little necks on the grill. Burgers, really? Clams. I mean, I'll have a hot dog occasionally, but
that's like a staple for 4th of July. Burgers and dogs.
See, I'll watch Joey Chestnut win the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Championship. I watch him eat. You watch a man eat 80 hot dogs to start your day on July 4th. By the time dinner comes around, I watched a dude eat 80 hot dogs. I don't want a hot dog. I want a burger. That's where I'm at on that. But yeah, I have seen how the hot dog is made. I won't get graphic with it, but my dad used to fabricate or welder. He used to build and maintain some of the equipment that went into a plant that processes meat, I'll say, and I used to see some of the things that were sent off to the dog food factory and sent off to the hot dog line. And yeah, it's I like whole cuts of meat like steaks.
You don't like cold cuts either?
Whole cuts of meat, like steak. Okay. No, I like cold cuts. I'm not a big roast beef guy. I'm not a big turkey guy. Ham, salami. Give me your salty cured meats more.
Yeah, I'm the same way there. But no, I like hot dogs. I like gobbling up some glizzies.
Oh God! Somebody clip it and ship it. Somebody send it to me. My DMs are open. Since we're ranting on food, you remember Big Daddy? You remember the McDonald's scene in Big Daddy?
So yeah. Okay.
I couldn't believe this. I need to rant about this somewhere. I went to get my teeth cleaned this morning, and I have a routine for some reason. After I go get my cleaning, I usually put in an order on the McDonald's app. I open the app, and it says, hey, buy one, get one free Egg McMuffins. Boom, we're in business. Ooh. I put in my 2 Egg McMuffins. I put in my iced tea lemonade, and I go to pick it up. I place the order at like 10:20. And in my mind, it's like, I can't remember if McDonald's stopped serving breakfast at 10:30 or 11, but it's like, I'm good to go. I got this easy. 10:20, I place my order. It's 8 minutes away or something. I hit a red light. I hit a slow car, whatever it is. I get there at 10:29, but it's like my order's in, it's queued up. I give them the code at the thing. And she says 30 seconds later, it takes her a second. She's like thinking, she's looking, whatever. It's 10:29 on my screen when I say my code at the window, and she says breakfast is over. And I look at my phone and it says 10:30, and I said, "This like, I placed my order 10 minutes ago. I came straight here. It's 10:20. Like I said, I literally just watched it turn to 10:30, and you're gonna tell me I'm not gonna get my 2 Egg McMuffins?" And she said, "Yes, yes, sir. Sorry." I just drove away. I just drove away defeated. I'm like, I'm not gonna. It's not her fault. It's not her problem. Whatever. But I felt like going Big Daddy on it. It's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? That I ended up getting a Dunkin' Donuts sandwich, but it didn't hit like 2 Egg McMuffins would have.
No. McDonald's getting rid of all-day breakfast was the biggest L in all of fast food history. I don't know why.
10:30 is pretty wild too. Get owned, says Pokemon Steven. I got owned hard. She did give me a tip though. Shout out to whoever that was. Shout out to her. She's like, next time if you're cutting it close, put it for pickup at the counter or press the button. Like if I had lied, if I had 2 minutes early, if I had pressed the button at the red light and said I'm here, like my GPS wasn't picking me up properly, I'm here, they would have made it. They would have gotten it done. She said, yeah, it just turned 10:30. Like they won't. I'm not gonna ask them like make eggs for me, make special. I drove away and I'm like, oh crap. But yeah, I'm a big I'm a big breakfast at any time of day guy. My wife, my kids are too. We went to Denny's the other night. My wife had a little procedure and she had to fast for the night before, and so her dinner choice after having fasted for a day was Denny's, just to get some well, not that it's amazing breakfast food, but hey, the good diners are all closed at 6 p.m. So we went to Denny's.
Are you a big daily breakfast eater? Like you have breakfast every day?
I have something. My normal breakfast lately is like an orange. I usually have a really late one, or I'll have I don't do cereal as much anymore. I used to do that too much. Usually it's just an orange or some pineapple slices or something. Okay, usually because I don't eat much fruit, so I try to make my breakfast like my breakfast has to be fruit. But if I go out somewhere, it's bacon, it's eggs, it's hash browns, it's home fries, it's toast, it's a little bit of everything. Yeah. When I go out, I eat breakfast big, and then I usually skip lunch.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't have breakfast if I eat here. So normally I don't have breakfast, but I love going out for breakfast. It's definitely up there and in top favorite foods when you're going out somewhere.
Forget Pokemon. Let's just talk food all day. Let's start all these questions. Ask away in chat. Hit us with all your food questions. Dan at the 4th of July barbecue. Where are the hors d'oeuvres? There's no way he didn't have to Google that in a separate window, how to spell hors d'oeuvres, because I think he spelled it correctly. I would not have been able to spell that. No, PokeBB says coffee is all you need for brekkie. Okay, we're actually gonna hard pivot off of the food. Maybe we'll come back to it later, but we do have 15 backlog questions, so we're gonna start working through them again. Stephen Kassoon says, if you were a betting man, what odds do you place on a 10 to 15 year lull in the hobby when only cards with good fundamentals see marginal growth and we see overall stagnation a la post WotC? So what are your thoughts on this theoretical world where the good stuff rises and the bad stuff that some people would argue, the higher pop, ultra modern stuff falls more? I personally think this is the most likely outcome. I think 20, 25 years from now, I think gray felt hats are going to age horribly. I think Moonbreons are going to age horribly. And maybe those two, ironically, maybe those two will be the exceptions. Maybe those two will stand above. But I think your average alt art, I think your average 10, 20, 50,000 pop card, I think they're going to have a bad time. All these takes of the pop doesn't matter and that stuff is going to age like milk. Look at every other industry. Look at every other hobby, coins, comic books. I don't care what it is. One thing that'll come in the future that I'm extreme confidence on, serialized cards will come. Who's going to want a Moonbreon from 20 years ago when there's a new Moonbreon that's 1 out of 20, 1 out of 50? Nothing will make that Moonbreon stand out, the Umbreon VMAX. And again, I'm probably doing myself a disservice. I'm probably picking like the worst example because that one could break away. But who's going to want a Rayquaza VMAX from Evolving Skies when there's 20 other Rayquaza full art cards with amazing arts, and there's the Rayquaza Gold Star, and there's the first Rayquaza that came out whenever that was. What I don't even know what that one would have been. One of the early EX era sets it would have been. But that's my take. Either way though, I'm not long-term speculating in slabs whatsoever, because I don't like how we overvalue grading, in my opinion. I think it's all drastically overvalued, and I think it's all kind of crazy and a bit of a sham, in my opinion, if I'm being quite honest. So what are your thoughts, Nick?
I think this would actually be good. Just like not doubling every week and just having slow marginal growth and an actual slowdown in pricing on a lot of stuff. I think that would actually be a good thing. I don't think that would necessarily be a bad thing. But if we have a like 10 to 15 years of that, that's a long time. I don't know if we'll have that long of a time frame for a lull like that. I can see another like what was like 5 year, like after COVID till now, 4 or 5 year. I can definitely see that happening again for sure. But I just think Pokemon's too solidified to have that long of a lull. Now that we have multiple generations into the hobby, there's always going to be people that are wanting to pick up their vintage cards. We like WotC because that's what we grew up with. Kids today are going to like Sword and Shield because that's what they grew up with. So I think there's always going to be something for everyone, and people are always going to be interested in what they consider vintage.
Will be interesting to see how it all pans out. I think there's a lot of, Jake used to always say, irrational exuberance. I think that's a terminology that Sean at Reserved Investments uses sometimes too. I think there's a lot of that in Pokemon. I think there's a lot of people that are going to have a rude awakening on certain things over the longer term. But maybe that'll be me. Maybe I'll be wrong on a lot of these fronts. But overall, I don't really speculate in singles or slabs too much. I do it more in sealed, and that's knowing the risks of that too. There's a decent chance, like Sword, Shield, Scarlet, Violet, that stuff could all age quite poorly. The same way that a lot of people were quite certain that XY sealed was going to age poorly. Sun and Moon sealed was going to age poorly. But it'll be interesting. I'm along for the ride either way. Stephen Kassoon also wants to know, are you surprised that Stormfront Zard is 50% more than base set? Doesn't reprint art take a backseat to Pop Report? Clearly not as of right now. I don't know how that will age over time. The graded premiums on everything universally blow my mind. I can't wrap my mind around it, how people so drastically overvalue, in my opinion, the third-party opinion rendered by these grading companies with how inconsistent they are, how crazy they are. I don't get it myself personally. So it's mildly surprising, I would say, I guess. Nothing is that surprising in a hobby where everything is so crazy.
Yeah. I don't know anything. I didn't even know it was. I didn't even know it was expensive. I don't follow that at all. But I don't necessarily like that card either, so I wouldn't understand it.
Here we go. Krabby's got a two-parter. Collector app said on midweek Machamp stream, 151 Zard was wish listed 2 million times just in the month of February. If demand really is 4 to 5 times the last boom, Pokemon might not actually be able to catch up with print demand for several years, right? Will be really interesting to see the print numbers in June. Absolutely. I'm painted as a bear from time to time by people with not many brain cells. I don't understand how people know who I am and what I do and what I say and evaluate that as a bear. There are downsides, but like the upsides are obscene. There is a future where in 2030, 2035, they might be printing 50 billion cards a year. If we 4 or 5x our print runs again, like we have over the past 5-6 years, that is so bullish for Sword Shield product. That is so bullish for Scarlet Violet product. if live stream rip and ships, if these things keep being a thing the way they are, if this goes on into the future, we could be so early. Evolving Skies could be a $20,000 box in 5-10 years. Destined Rivals could be a $10,000 box in 5 or 10 years. Like, people think I'm bearish, and then I say stuff like that. Like, it could also be a $150 booster box. That's where it breaks people's minds, and it's like they don't realize the fickle nature of consumer demand. And but yeah, that's my thoughts. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for my net worth, for my business endeavors, that is the case. I don't think it will be that crazy, but again, I'm along for the ride. Most people guaranteeing things can't go down below X. Most people calling me a bear have been here for 6 months, 6 days, 6 weeks, 12 months. And yeah, like I'll be here 5 years from now. Most of them won't be, likely, or maybe all of them will be, and a bunch more will be, and we'll be booming, and we'll say, remember in 2026 when we thought that was the boom, and then the boom really happened. Hopefully that's the case.
Let's hope so. Yeah, 151 has been wild lately. I can't believe how quickly, though, like the Blastoise, Charizard, and Venusaur SIRs, they are taking off right now. It's absurd. And then even the packs they're doing well. They're doing really good. But the singles are just going absolutely insane right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying to find.
I think people definitely are FOMOing into the fact that everything's going out of rotation in April. I think that's a big part of it.
I think what happens, and it's crazy to say this, but like the market is forward looking. Like, people know that 151 is going out of print, so it's priced in, but then simultaneously people act like it's not priced in, so then it goes up even more. Why am I not finding the 151 UPC? 151 Ultra.
Oh, you gotta look up Ultra Premium.
Is that really over 1,000? It literally is. I saw somebody post this in Discord, and I didn't fully believe it. But yeah, let me share this. Look, here's one thing that people always say. People always say, everyone has all this stuff. Everyone's got hordes of it, pallets of it, warehouses of it. How many? Oh, that's the ETB case.
Oh,
here it is.
I was going to say, Jesus. Okay,
how many Mew 151 UPCs do you have?
I have 2. I don't have any.
I have like, I forget how many are on the pallets. I think there might be 4 cases on the pallets. So half those are mine, half those are my dad's. There's 8 there. And I think I have 2 cases additionally, like in my storage. Otherwise, it's not on the pallets. I don't have that many. I know some people years ago had hundreds, some individuals. Most of the people that I knew that had a couple hundred of them, they've sold down to almost nothing. Maybe there are these big funds out there, these big businesses out there that truly have pallets set aside, but I don't know of any. And this is where I'm talking about. Like I thought these prices were crazy back in January. I thought 500-600. It's like, okay, guys, we're getting a little bit of ahead of our skis here. Yes, it's going out of print soon, but I think that's priced in. And then it's like, oh, hey, the out of print clock is that alarm is going off soon, so we better buy. So it's like we priced it in. As a market, we got it to here, having already priced it in. And then, like, the market neuralized itself, and we forgot that we priced it in. And so we're doing it again, even though it's already priced in. And that's kind of scary. That's kind of almost like bubbly feeling. But I truly don't know where the dump is going to come from. Like, there's 33 sold, and there's 25 sold, there's 12 sold. It's not a ton of volume to get the number up there. But I'm not rushing to sell mine. I don't have that many. I might sell one of them soon. I might send one of them to DC Sports or something because it feels kind of crazy. But also, I don't have a crazy amount of them. Same thing goes for like the bundle displays. Like, here's a sealed case. I have 1 master case of bundle displays. Aside from that, I have like 3 or 4 loose bundle displays. ETB cases, I have a few on the pallets, I think. And then I have a handful of loose ones here and there. but I don't have substantial amounts of any of this stuff really. Mostly what I have is loose packs, and that's still, I'm gonna say only, it'll sound like a lot to some people, but like I only have several thousand 151 loose packs. It's like a year worth of inventory, or maybe a couple years worth of inventory. It has drastically slowed down the sales now that it's a
I was gonna say, I think a couple thousand loose packs will last a couple years at this point.
And the thing is though, like I plan to be running the operation that I'm running for like years, for a decade. My kids are in school for the next decade. At a minimum, I'm going to be doing what I'm doing to some extent for the next decade.
Yeah.
My 7,000 packs of 151, that's not a decade's worth.
Yeah.
And where do they come from once mine are gone? There's a bull case where 151 packs in a few years are $50, or who the hell knows, $100. Like it's I'm a bear, but I'm saying 151 could be $100 pack in the next 5 years. Like that is the bull case is insane. And the meme, you can only lose 100% of your money, but you can theoretically go plus 1,000% or more. So yeah, put your percentages on that and place your bets. It's crazy. It's so crazy.
It is wild.
A major reprint of 151 is coming. If so, I'll buy a lot of it. I guess I'll slightly regret not having sold off some of what I have right now, but I don't have a crazy amount. Some of it's locked away till 2030 anyways on the pallets. I don't know that I fully believe that though. I think some of the big apps, some of the big things, there's a big drop coming with UPCs and all this 151 product, and then that didn't come to fruition. But it wouldn't be the most surprising thing to ever happen if 151 were to get a massive reprint. Yeah, let me keep starting stuff. We're booming. Never in the history of Pokeflipz have I had 20 questions starred in our backlog, I don't think.
You star every question. How many of those are meme questions?
Some of them are meme questions, but still, that aside, like I don't think the memes have gone up. I think memes are relatively stable, but 20 starred questions. We are booming. I better get going. Oh, 2 of them we already did. So we already did the Krabby's cards ones. How do you guys feel about card art across all TCGs in terms of the rarest hits? They all feel so similar now. Part of the draw with Pokemon Vintage. Other TCGs feel like they have less runway. What are your thoughts on that?
Hold on. How do you feel about card arts across all TCGs in terms of rarest hits? Feels so similar now. Part of the draw with Pokemon Vintage. Other TCGs feel like they have less runway. I don't know other TCGs. I'm awful with this. Yeah, I don't know anything about this. I have no idea. I don't know anything outside of Pokemon. I know Yu-Gi-Oh! Introduced full arts copying Pokemon. That's kind of cool.
I think that's what he's saying is
things, which a lot of other TCGs do.
I think the premise of the question is that Pokemon had like decade plus of runway built with like just half arts, and then they could innovate by going outside of the frame with the gold stars, with bringing on the full arts in the black and white era. Most TCGs started today though, like when MetaZoo came out, they had altars, they had full arts, they had all that stuff to begin with. Well, MetaZoo 2.0. Dragon Ball Super, like their common cards look like altars. So it's like they don't have room to power creep their arts until we get to like 4D hologram projectors coming off of our 2.5 inch by 3.5 inch cardboard rectangles. Until someone figures out how to do that, we're kind of capped on like art creep to some extent. But as I always say, artists will art. I don't know how that will age over time. But one thing that I think will be a thing, and I'm not pumping my vintage bags. I don't really have a crazy amount of vintage slabs or anything. I don't have hardly any vintage sealed product whatsoever. But I think 20 years from now, at the 50th anniversary, there will be 40 years of like these full art cards and all these different things. And there will be 50, 100, 200 different chase cards for Charizard, for Umbreon, for Gengar, for Mewtwo, for all the different popular cards. But there will only be one base set first edition Charizard. There will only be one Shining Gyarados. There will only be one, like the first rookie card of a certain Pokemon. And I think those things will age well. I think a lot of the other ones will age quite poorly. I think, but again, when people hear something that's counter to their opinion and they get mad and they get offended, like, it's so weird. If anything, you should be thankful that guys like me are against your position so that your positions are cheaper. Buy the things that you believe in. If your goal is to make money, you should be glad that certain people like me are kind of bearish on graded cards overall. Buy them. Prove me wrong. Like, great for you. I don't care. I'm placing my bets where I see fit, and you should place your bets where you see fit. That's what I always come back to. I see Nick. Let's jump to the question that you're taking actively. Do you guys have favorite customers, or do you hate us all equally? So I don't engage with the end customer. I engage with the streamers. I engage with the 1099 independent contractors, the consignment operations in between me. I'm not a huge fan of dealing with the end customer, honestly. Some of them are great, but many of them are not as great. And I think the best ones you don't talk to. The best ones, honestly, and that inherently wouldn't work. Like, my mind, when I used to be business to consumer, I was never that as a streamer. As a streamer, like, you engage daily with your best ones, right? But my mind is set in 5 years ago when I was running eBay. The best consumers on eBay, you'd pack, ship their order, and you'd get a positive feedback, or you'd not get a positive feedback a week later or whatever, and you'd never hear from them. The ones that I got a message, the ones that I engaged with, it's like there's a problem. They want photos. They want this. They want that. Mm-hmm. So my brain is still set on like the pre-streaming culture, where if I heard from you, it was because you were a problem of some kind and I wasn't a huge fan. But no, like we as far as PK, Ponga, I need to say everybody, Bierski, Grimer, Spat, as far as them like maintaining and facilitating a community, the C word on Fanatics and eBay, and I'm sure Nick does it on eBay too. Like, there's all your regulars, and they make it a lot of fun. We met up with one of our regulars, like, in New York City after our Pokemon Day stream. We went out, we got pizza, and we hung out until we closed the bars down, hanging out with one of our bigger customers, and it was great. So tons of great people out there. The way that I used to engage with business to consumer, though, I used to only engage with the problem customers, which was unfortunate.
Yeah, I responded. My favorite customer is anyone but you. For those of if anyone else is in the streams here, this is Pokeflipz, by the way. Mr. Posting another stream in my Discord when I don't go live on Monday night. So he cheats on me. It's not right.
You got to be consistent, Nick. You always got to be there. If you're not there for them, they'll stray.
But no, I like everyone. I will say there are regulars who come into the streams all the time, and they'll buy stuff, but they don't interact with the chat at all. I like people who interact with the chat a little bit more, because obviously it makes the stream more fun. But there are people who come in all the time and just don't say anything, and that's fine too. But the chat interaction is definitely the best part. So I slightly lean more towards them.
Yeah, and highlighted Mason's comment here. I'll spare everyone the 30-minute rant I had on my own personal live stream last night, but Mason says it's pretty silly how some people are so protective and defensive. Billions of dollars in Pokemon being made every year, and people think they have to protect a 20-grand play or a $200 play or a $20 play. Like, it's pretty wild how defensive some people get over, like, this guy doesn't love and only say positive things of the thing that I'm investing or collecting in. And I always come back to, it is great that we value different things differently, because if everyone valued everything the same, you would have certain cards that were just unobtainable. If everyone in the world wanted the same cards the same way, well, only the rich people would be able to get it, because they'd be worth millions of dollars, theoretically. And if certain cards were just trashed to everybody, no one would want them, and they'd be available, and it wouldn't be a great world to live in. It's great that sometimes people value more than I do a random PSA 10 card I grade. So I sell it, I take my thousands, and I put it into something that I value more personally. I put it into something that provides me more enjoyment as a collector, or more utility as a business, or more cash flow as a business, whatever it may be. So we hit that one. Predictions for exclusive 30th promos and what would you like to see? If you could influence Pokemon, what would you ask for? I would ask for 251 being a crystal version TCG, having all of Johto, all of Kanto in one set, all with full art cards. Smash N64 promo set. That is what I would ask for. I don't think that will happen, but I would love that. I think we'll get, like, Crystal Lugia was teased on the 30th anniversary Pokemon Presents. I think we're going to get like a couple of reimagined old style tag team, Crystal, maybe Legend we didn't see with Celebrations. So I think it's going to be a celebration like Celebrations was. I'm excited for it, but I think there's always like better they could do. No one else wants to hear this, not many other people at least, but someday I want that serialized card. I talked about it a little bit earlier, but I want some serialized chases at some point. I want cards that you can buy a normal booster box, or maybe it's a collector booster box. I want the ability to pull a card that's worth $100,000. And I think we'll get there eventually in Pokemon.
Yeah, I can you imagine what's gonna happen if they do that Crystal Lugia as like the chase card for whatever the 30th anniversary set? That card is gonna go insane. It's gonna be wild. I really hope we get that. That would be crazy. But as far as like a promo, have you seen the it's like the One Piece-esque looking promo where it's like the comic or the anime in the background, and then it's a tag team, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle?
I haven't seen that.
No. Oh, okay. Well, it's been popping up, or it was. This was back a couple of weeks ago. It was popping up everywhere for me on Facebook.
Is it like a fan art thing, or is it like some AI generated?
It was a leak for the 30th. I don't think it actually is. But I would actually love that card to be real. I really like that card. I don't think it is real at all. But I would want that one to be real.
We need a Squirtle Squad tag team GX as well.
Yes. Ooh, a Squirtle Squad. I didn't even think of that. That would be cool.
Yeah. We are so easy to, like, I say we're easy to please, but then you got guys like Nick who say all these new Gen 10 Pokemon suck, even though Sprout's amazing. We are so easy to please, though. They have so many things in their back pocket that they can just kind of like empty our wallets with, and they've got so many things to reach for, so many aces in the hole. I'm bullish long term for sure. Here's a big timely one. So I'm assuming you saw the lenticular Deoxys thing. Look, Zardlooking wants to know, what would it take to finally bring down PSA's reputation? Do you think Nat Turner will make a formal statement about the Deoxys controversy or stay quiet like usual? Nat Turner could pew somebody on Fifth Avenue, as is a popular quote by somebody years ago. Like, I'm telling you, like, money wins. Money wins. He could blatantly scam me. He could blatantly steal money from me. And Nick, I would want you to continue submitting cards if you thought you'd make money doing it. Like, I would continue. Like, he could steal $50,000 from me. He could just vanish one of my submissions. And I would be like, it's still plus EV to submit. That only happened one time. It's like I touched the stove, my hand got burnt. But like the prior million times I touched the stove, like I got lots of money. So I'm going to continue trying to do it. It's what I said last night, though, in my rant. It's an unforced error. It blows my mind how dumb they were over handling that. It blows my mind how much negative PR they got over that scenario. That plus the PSA 9 to PSA 10 offers going on and all these unforced errors they're making. Like, over time, they can do damage. Over years, continuing to make these errors can do damage. The main thing that would have to happen is you'd have to have a competitor swooping in at the same time, not making those errors. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but it's really dumb. Nat will be wise to not say anything about it. But one thing I said last night, we need to get this trending. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on X, any of those things. But hashtag release the tapes. Hashtag PSA release the tapes. So this is what, did you see the conspiracy theory about how they sold this guy's Deoxys card for $45,000 and then they crimped like a swap one.
Stop it.
Nick,
50,000 doesn't mean anything to PSA.
Nick, not to PSA, but what about to a PSA employee? There's a non-zero chance. There's I'm not saying it's likely, but I've made the mistake before. Do you remember Snipe Nick? Do you remember how we thought Mr. Voldemort himself would never be pumping his own auctions and he'd never be doing this and he'd never be doing that? I've made the mistake before. I am way more cynical than I used to be. There is a non-zero chance that somebody stole that card from that guy, sold it through the PSA vault. I think it's pretty dang close to zero, but it is non-zero. And the fact that that is even in the talk, the fact that's in the conversation, Moist Critical made a video that got 2 million views on it. There were comments with 1,000 upvotes that said they stole that guy's card, they sold it, it's obvious. Like, how are they allowed to do this? It's crazy that that's even happening, that that's in the conversation. It is so dumb how they had this big of a slip of over 25 grand. But at the end of the day,
that card though, why not something even more valuable?
Because opportunity.
That's a random card to steal.
Random opportunity. Someone had the chance to do it. They swapped it out. They crimped their cheaper copy. They put it in there. They returned it. Lenticular Deoxys, it would be harder. It would be harder. Oh, well, there's no swirl. There's no this. There's no that. Every picture you take of a Lenticular Deoxys looks different. So, like, there's less likely that you'll get, oh, like, there's a swirl here. There's a swirl there. It's an easy card maybe to swap and make this claim on, right? So, again, I don't think that is what happened whatsoever. But am I going to guarantee that it didn't? Hell no, I'm not going to. I've done that before. I've almost done that before, and it didn't pan out well. So, do I? And again, I said exactly this. Do I think Nat Turner is doing this? Do I think, I'm not going to say his name. I don't say his name anymore. I say Voldemort now. Do I think Voldemort himself is bidding on his own auctions? I said no. I might have. I don't think I guaranteed it, but I was pretty damn close to guaranteeing it. I will never make that mistake again. It would shock me if Nat Turner was involved in this. It would shock me if this was happening. But would a random $50,000 a year, $60,000 a year PSA employee, given the opportunity, try to steal $50,000 through this method? That wouldn't be crazy. That wouldn't be crazy whatsoever. And what I said was on my live last night, PSA has cameras everywhere. Release the tapes. Show us what happened. Prove to us that the tinfoil hat conspiracies aren't real.
That's not going to do anything. All you're doing is you're giving away what the PSA office looks like, and they obviously don't want to do that.
They're clearly not going to do it. But
it's going to be the same as the whole Snipe controversy. We're not going to hear anything about it. In a week, everyone's going to forget about it.
There'll be something new. Yep.
Yes.
Exactly. So the smartest thing is to stay mum on it. A week later, someone will scam something. Something will happen. Some major thing will, and it'll all blow over like it always does. But eventually, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if PSA spends the next 5-10 years doing the same thing over and over and over, and it keeps going viral, and it whittles away at the brand value to some extent. But in this market, in this boom, am I gonna stop submitting the PSA? Are you like, no? They make us too much money. They're leasing us space on their money machine printers, and we're gonna take that opportunity. It's wild though. It is insane.
Yeah, PSA will never. They'll always be number one. They're never gonna get dethroned.
Do you think institutional money will do well in the hobby? I'm personally not worried given how they operate and sheer amounts of variables in the hobby. I don't see them sticking around. I mean, institutional money is already here. Fanatics is printing in the hobby. eBay is printing in the hobby. PSA, CGC, BGS, they are printing in the hobby. Institutional money has been here for a while. But do I think institutional money will do well buying sealed product? Frankly, I'm going to make a video on this at some point soon. Real institutional money, there's not room for institutional money in the hobby. That's a bull case, right? We need to grow the hobby so much more to even fit institutional money. 12 billion cards, MSRP of 50 cents a card with a $5 booster pack. That's only $6 billion a year if every card goes into a booster pack. And they don't all. And MSRP is lower for different cards and stuff. So I'm going to generally say no. I don't think institutional money, by and large, will get into sealed product in any real fashion. The way that I deem institutional money, you're talking billions. Will millionaires do well in the Pokemon hobby? Yes, they already are. If you count institutional money as millions, then yes, it's already crushing.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to add on that one or no?
I agree with what I think we were talking about this, or I was listening to a video or something. I think it was last week, maybe. Yeah, it was PK and us. I agree. It's too hard. It's too hard to buy product at that type of scale. Because at some point you're gonna buy out the floor, and then it's gonna be hard to buy product without just competing with yourself and buying at a higher and higher price point. I think there's too many. It's not big enough for institutional money like that.
Yeah. Let me just make sure I didn't miss starring any other questions. Pokemon Steven wants to know, are CGC 10 gem mints the best value purchases in the whole hobby?
Ooh. I do think there is value in the gem mint 10s for sure. I don't think they'll never be worth as much as PSA 10s. But I do think they're good value buys.
Oh man, chat is wilding here. Raw and creating the gem mint 10, creating like those are the best value buys. If you have to buy graded though, I think CGC gem 10s are up there. But as always, like buy the CGC gem 10 that will cross to a PSA 10. Buy the better examples of those, because there's a pretty wide variance, a lot of inconsistency on all these grades. Okay, I have everything start again, so we're good to go.
I think the gem 10s are they're like PSA 9s, only they have the 10 number, so that makes them better because they have the bigger number.
They usually cost a little bit more though. So if you go from that respect, I'd rather buy the PSA 9, cross grade it into the CGC 10, right? Like,
well,
that's
all
where I
PSA
always
9s or CGC 10s either.
Not all, but like, well, if you submit enough, a PSA 9 is every grade. If you submit on as submissions go to infinity, every card is a PSA 10. Every card. We've seen before. Remember, Nick, do you remember the PSA 1 that got put in the 10 slab?
That was one time.
Nick, that Charizard was told by its mother when it was growing up, you can be anything you dream of being someday. It dreamed of being a PSA Gem Mint 10, and it happened. I don't care if it's a clerical error. I don't care what it is. These companies are consistently inconsistent. On any given day, any card can get any grade. I will die on that hill. It is relatively made up. It's a if people know like a normal distribution, every card has an inherent like it should be this grade. Certain cards are like mint 9s inherently, but mint 9 is the center of the probability distribution, and there's some percent chance it'll get a 10. There's some percent chance it'll get an 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, all the way to 1. 1 to 10, literally every card. I actually have in my PC. It's a Magmar EX from EX Ruby and Sapphire. It is a pack pulled card that I opened myself. It has no issues whatsoever. It's a PSA 1. It's a clerical error the other way. It's a PSA 1 of a gem mint card. It is proof that every card can get any grade on any given day. So I will die on that hill. I have the card to prove it. PokeSun posted that one. Power Keepers or Crystal Guardians Charizard, whatever it was. It's a huge joke. What I always say is grading is a massive joke, but the punchline is we all get rich. So it's the best joke that exists in the entire world. I love the joke that is third-party grading.
I just think those are such fringe cases.
I don't care.
How many times is that going to happen? We've heard about it once in the history of PSA.
Nick, so you're saying there's a chance?
Oh my god!
I'm not saying the likelihood is high. There's a non-zero chance, and like it's a probability distribution. Every card that I submit, it's like, hey, there's a 40% chance this is a 10. There's a 40% chance it's a 9. There's a 20% chance they spill some of their lunch, they dent the card, they damage it, and it gets a 6 or a 5 or a whatever. It's all kind of made up to some extent. It's all, Nick, we love the casino. In a month, we are going to be hitting the casino hard. That's why grading is so fun, because like waiting for that final card in your blackjack hand, waiting for that roulette ball to stop. There's enough randomness in there. There's enough gamble in there that keeps us coming back, that makes it fun for all of us. So I love it. I love it all. Some people might think like I hate grading. I hate grading companies. I love them. I love them. They do things that drive me crazy from time to time. But no, I love it all. It's crazy.
I don't know. Yes, in your fantasy world, that is true. But casinos are all luck. Grading is, there's skill involved.
It's more like poker. Like poker is a good example, because if you play 20 games heads up against like a Phil Ivey, like a poker pro, you're gonna lose most of them. But occasionally you're gonna catch that random lucky straight flush. You're gonna bluff some, like you're gonna occasionally have a Chris Moneymaker situation where somebody wins the World Series of Poker by just pure luck, pure chance, law of large numbers. But yeah, it all makes for a fun conversation. Imagine if they did their jobs properly. What would we have to talk about on live streams? Imagine if we didn't get to talk about the CGC grading fake cards drama. Imagine if we didn't get to talk about the crimped card, the GameStop issues, the PSA 9 turned to a 10 buyback. Like, this gives us all things to talk about. Maybe it's a part of their grand marketing plan. Maybe they very much abide by any publicity is good publicity. Maybe that's the 4D chess play all along. Maybe they intentionally did it.
That could
4D
be.
chess guys.
Maybe that's why tag will never be anything, because they always give you the true grade.
Oh God. Steven wants to know, do you think there's a case for Japanese holos to challenge English first edition given the original print? I don't see it happening, but just curious. I don't personally.
I have to go. I have to leave for a second. I don't see it at all. There's way too many Japanese holos. There's way too many sets that were guaranteed holos in every pack, and you were getting 60 packs in a box. It'll never be a thing. That reminds me of No Rarity. No Rarity. Everyone thought, oh, it's the first thing. It's better than first edition. And look how long it took for No Rarity to be worth anything. And even now, it's just the PSA 10s. PSA 10s, yes, they're worth a crazy amount of money. But then once you get to 9s, the English first edition's worth more. So yeah, no, the Japanese holos will never compete with English first edition.
I can't even read them either. I mean, how are they going to compete when we can't even read them? I agree with like the pull rates, and English pull rates are 1 in 3, and Japanese pull rates are oftentimes every pack for certain sets, and then they're every other pack for certain sets, and higher pull rates, easier to grade. There's a lot of things like kind of going against them. But No Rarity is a good example that like, and some of them are booming lately. Some of like the Japanese fossil holos, some of the Japanese base holos, they are crushing lately. And I'm not going to say never like Nick did, but I'm going to say likely not. It wouldn't be the most shocking thing. I don't submit to for certain consigners that I've had for a long time, I do actually facilitate PSA grading, but it is the exception. It is not the rule. If you're grading, actually, here's a couple of things on my desk that are being graded through PSA on behalf of one of my consigners. If you've got stuff like this, and some of these are mint, and some of these are like PSA 1 plays, but if you've got stuff like this and you want me to facilitate grading, DM me, we can talk about it, but I'm not a middleman grading service. Here's some more. If you've got stuff like this and you want to grade it, reach out. I can facilitate that as long as it's being consigned and sold on Fanatics ultimately, then I can do that. But I charge the public rates. I basically just do it as a service for free, and then I make the money on the sales. But I generally am not a PSA middleman at all. Wow, we are 23 questions behind. Have you seen the gem rate 11% sell through 400 last month and listings 40 on TCG Player for the Haunter IR promo from the Mega battle box. I haven't seen that. I think it's several $100s though. It's almost $1,000. I saw someone post it in Discord. We're booming. I don't know what more to say. I love Haunter. I love the art. I have tons of them from the Japanese deck. I have quite a few of them from the English. So Haunter getting the love he deserves is what I'll say.
That was one thing. Walrus tried to get me to buy some, and I never did. I thought it was a good card, but it wasn't a great card. And that is doing so well right now. I will say I opened a decent amount of those decks, and the Haunter is a very tough card to grade. For at least from my whatever I opened, none of mine were gradable. They all had a little ding in the corners. So yeah, it is a very tough card to grade, but I don't think it's that good of a card. It's good, but it's not great. I don't know.
I think the extent to which it's good has 100% to do with its market price. Its market price is high, so it is exactly that good.
No, I think it's because of the Haunter. Gengar, Haunter, Ghastly, all those cards will always do well. It's a popular Pokemon.
Yeah. Hobbybin says, what do you guys think of the Indonesian promo cards, things like the collector promos and the Batik Pikachu set? I have some. I think they're fine. Pikachu has clothes on, which I kind of like. I think the hobby kind of likes them. I don't remember what I paid, but I think those have had a pretty good return. Most of them have been sold on the live streams already, but I do have a handful set back that will just trickle out over time. What are your thoughts on those ones?
I really like the Pikachu set. I don't. What are the other ones? The collector promos. I don't know what those are.
I don't even know either.
Oh, okay. I really like those Pikachus. I think it's really cool how like Pikachu's shirts are different Pokemon patterns. Like you have a Starmie, you have the Xatu. I think that's really cool. I like the detail there. And obviously the whole meme of Pikachu wearing clothes will do well. I do like those cards. They're always popular in stream too. But I don't know. Like investing in them long term, I don't know anymore. Look what's happening to the Chinese stuff. The Chinese stuff is getting absolutely destroyed right now. So I
collector things.
Oh, they're just stamped. I don't like those then. I think it's gotta be exclusive. It can't just be a stamp. No, those are dumb. Those are dumb. Don't. But yeah, if it's a foreign language, it's gotta be exclusive. It can't be an added stamp or something like that. And then even then, I would be careful.
I'm actually gonna give you this question. I'm gonna run to the bathroom quick. For Nick, if you had to restart your bulk selling grind, how would you do it in today's environment?
Ooh, I don't know if we want to get into this helping hands. I've got a video next week that I am gonna get absolutely roasted in the comments for. I guess we can talk about it while Dan's gone. So my new business venture for someone who I would love to do this, but I don't have the time. So I'm not going to be doing it. But for someone who has little capital to get started, we're talking like $1,000 to $5,000. And is just getting started in Pokemon. What's the best business for them to start out with? So many people say get into bulk selling. You can buy bulk for dirt cheap, and then you can sell the singles. The trouble with that is you have so much competition, and in order to be successful with selling bulky singles, you need to have a massive inventory listed. And there's already so many sellers who have massive eBay stores of all these singles listed. So my thing is you buy packs of sleeves. and you sell individual sleeves.
Oh God.
There's not a lot of competition for doing that. You have some Canadian sellers, and then you have some other international sellers doing this, but there's not much competition in the US. And I honestly think there is a massive market that would be interested in this. So you go on Buy, you go on eBay, you post on Facebook that you're buying sleeves. You buy 1 or 2 packs of every possible sleeve that you can get. You list a massive amount of them on eBay. So you have 500 to 1,000 different listings. And then you start posting constant reels and TikToks and all those types of short videos showing off all these different sleeves and displaying them in binders. You know how like in a 9-card pocket binder, you have that middle slot. Why not do 8 cards around it and then have like a Gengar or a Charizard sleeve in the middle? It would look so good. People want this, and there is zero competition.
Guys, there are tens of dollars to be made selling individual sleeves.
I'm telling you, you invest. Me and Walrus have been talking about this like all week. You invest $5,000.
I'm on Brad's side, and that's dark. If I'm on Brad's side, that is dark.
No, of course you're on Brad's side. You're not a grinder like me.
Oh man.
You invest $5,000. Say your average pack of sleeves is $20. You can with that you can buy 500 different types of sleeves. So you have 500 listings, quantity 65 on all those listings. I think you could recoup your investment and start making money. I said within 6 months is when you're going to be making money. I'm going to show screenshots on my video next Friday. This is my video next Friday.
Nick,
you have people selling the Pikachu with great belt hat sleeves from the Pokemon Center. You can buy a pack of those for $20 right now on eBay. You have a seller who's selling individual ones of those sleeves for $2 a piece, and he's sold 120 of those.
He's made $200, Nick. $200
on one sleeve. One sleeve.
Shipping costs $1. He's made $100, Nick. He's made $100 in a boom.
You want people to. It's the same as selling individual bulk. You want people to buy 2 or more sleeves. Nobody's going to buy a single sleeve. And I want to start this business in the worst way because nobody believes me. Nick, don't have the time.
Nick,
if I had the time, I would start this business. I'm telling you, you're not going to become a millionaire, but you are. It is going to be a decent. It's going to be a lot of work, but you're going to make a decent bit of money.
You're going to have one of the highest net margins of any other business in the space. But Nick, would you rather have an 80% net margin on $100,000 in sales and make $80,000 net, which I don't think you would do with sleeves, but say you would. Let's live in this dream world. Say you would. Would you rather make 80% of 100,000, or would you rather make 8% of 10 million? What are we doing here?
I'm saying this isn't a business for us. This is someone who's just getting into Pokemon. How can you differentiate yourself? You don't have a ton of capital to get started. You can't be doing $10 million in sales a year. So how do you get started? I think this is the perfect business.
This is the worst advice I've ever heard in my life on any topic in any way. And I've heard some crazy things.
This is why I want to start this business.
So Nick, let me know. Your video is going live next Friday. I do mine on Mondays. I'm going to do my video. That's when I'm going to do it. One video that I tease coming up soon. I'm doing 5 ways to make $100,000 in the space, in the hobby, net profit in a year, like starting tomorrow. Like there are several ways that a new person starting tomorrow can make $100,000 net in the hobby. And you know what? One of them isn't selling individual sleeves. So when that, like, is it definitely going live next Friday?
Yeah.
Boom. Mine's going live Monday. It's gonna be a response video to you.
How much capital do you have though?
You either need capital, you need a tolerance for risk. I'll cover it in the video, but not the route that I'd take. But like Brian Pokemon, he's a guy who very publicly went very risk on. He was doing pre-orders, Japanese. He was doing it with other people's money, like a path that I wouldn't have gone, but it went very well for him. I've done consults with people who starting up vending, starting up whatever they're doing, starting up multiple different avenues, live streaming. And they're making like 10K net a month within a few months. Like you're talking about making thousands of dollars a year. We need to set our sights higher, Nicholas. We're booming. 25. Hold on, where to go? 25 individual sleeve listings have sold on eBay today. Maybe he's right.
See,
you could have made $25 today. Hey, if you extend it out to a year, that's $100 a week. That's
This is 100% a thing.
That's $5,000 a year net profit on the table right there. Oh man, Nick, do you offer private consultations? Consult with Nicholas today. Oh man, Nick, sometimes we spill too much sauce on this podcast. Nick, we got to take this sleeve thing offline. Go subscribe to Nick. Go watch his video. Watch my roast response video on Monday where I teach you how to actually make money in a boom. Bless your heart, Nick. Bless your heart.
I wish I had time to do it. You're not going to make a killing. I think you could realistically make $1,000 a month profit.
Nick, we're out here trying to add zeros. We're trying to add commas. We're living by the Z&G Emporium. If you're in the paywall Discord, you'll know what I'm talking about. He's always just like add a zero, add a comma, too cheap. Like that is the energy we need. We are not out here trying to net $1,000 a month or less. What a crazy guy. But again, I love you for that, Nick. I love you for that. In the middle of a boom, the man's theorizing how to make dollars at a time. and you know what? In my call out video, I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but it's like this has to be a ploy. This has to be tinfoil hat conspiracy. This is just Nick trying to decrease his competition on eBay Live. It has to be. I'm convinced. There's no way this is a serious business proposal.
I would 100 if I wasn't so
busy making money
all the time, I would 100% do this. Because nobody believes me, and I'm telling you, it's so easy.
I'm gonna reword what you just said. If I wasn't so busy making hundreds of dollars an hour on eBay Live, I would make tens of dollars a day on selling sleeves. I believe you, Nick. Nick, if we go back into a 2014 world where we're all collectors again and there's no money and there's no investors and if we go back into that world, I'm all for it. I will be selling sleeves alongside you on year 25 of the Pokeflipz podcast. But that is not a venture we take unless, Nick, the angle, get someone to put it in plastic. Nick, if you start having people collecting, if you start having people collecting sleeves in a binder, a slab binder, now I'm on board. Pay a company $15 a sleeve to authenticate and encapsulate it, grade it on a 10-point scale. Now we just turned the whole thing on its head. We just turned a dud into just the next multi-million-dollar business opportunity. Get PSA, get CGC, get BGS to put them in plastic. We need more plastic.
See, that's gonna be my other. Once I get the single sleeve business started, then you branch off into graded sleeves.
This is hilarious. I had like 150 packs of ETB sleeves for $1 at a flea market. If only those kids bought those off you, they could have bought 60 sleeves for $1, 1.5 cents a piece, 1.6 cents a piece, and they could have sold them at the next show for 10 cents a piece. They could have 7x their money. What are we doing here? 7x is on the table. Crazy. With that, we have a 20 question backlog still. We probably have more than that. I probably missed questions in all that craze. This is indeed peak Pokeflipz content. This is as good as it gets. Thanks for being here. That is so wild, though. That is such a wild conversation. I love that we had it. What a day.
What a day.
So, okay, we took that one and we went off the rails. We're going to get it back on. Pokemon Steven wants to know, how often do we use ChatGPT? I use it most days. I don't use it every day, but I use it most days. It has saved me so much time. My consignment workflow, back when I used to do a tenth of the volume, used to take 5 times as long. So my consignment workflow has gone up in an order of magnitude in like quantity that's going through it, and I'm doing it in hours instead of like almost a full day. Almost a full day used to be tied into the consignment, just facilitating all that and the payments and the structuring the spreadsheets, but it's so cleaned up because of ChatGPT.
I don't use it at all. I'm such a boomer. No, I don't use it whatsoever. I probably should. It would probably definitely help. Sleeve mystery bags.
Now we're going places. If we like chew on the whole sleeve idea for a little bit, we got to grading them. Nick, buy 1,000 sleeve packs, pull out a sleeve from each, put 10 in a random sleeve booster pack. Sleeve booster packs for $10. And you know what? There's a chance 1 in 100, one of your 10 sleeves might have a card in it.
Ooh.
Hold on. We gotta end the podcast. Delete the VOD. We're going to places. We are cooking with this idea now. Plasma Blast ETB sleeves are only 65 shipped. That's like a $10,000 ETB. That 1 in 100 chance to get a Plasma Blast ETB sleeve that has like a Celebrations Charizard in it. Holy crap. We are cooking now. Now I'm getting more on board every minute now.
See, I'm convincing you.
Chat is convincing me. You had a crazy idea way out there, way away from any kind of solvency or profitability. And the graded idea, we're reeling it in some. We're trying to help you in a boom. Maybe we can find a 6-figure business. Maybe that will be the end of my video. The 5th way to make $100,000 a year is to convince the grading companies to grade sleeves, is to build a brand, build a business around mystery sleeve products where you might get a QR code that you can scan and it gives you a digitized instant rip. It gives you a digitized GameStop power pack, whatever. Insane. But yeah, not using ChatGPT, not using AI at all is kind of wild. It would be hard to go back, honestly, if it ceased to be a thing tomorrow.
What do you use it for? Like, what do you do?
Like overhauling my spreadsheets was the main thing that saves me tons of time every week. I'm not using it nearly as much as I should, but I use it for like random things throughout the day too. I almost use it as like a better note-taking app. I just have it. It's almost an assistant of sorts. I have it remember certain things and note certain things down. And hey, when I talk about this next time, remind me, like bring this back up that I had this issue that I need to do that. When I'm cooking, sometimes when I'm smoking something on the smoker, I'll give it some notes and I'm like, hey, remind me. And I could do that with a pen and paper. I could do that with a notes app, but it like remembers, it knows. It's more of an assistant. It's more of a person that I'm telling those things to. And then it's giving suggestions and it's giving. So I use it that way in and out of business. And then in the business, the most beneficial thing that I do is like overhauling my spreadsheets.
What exactly does that mean? Entail?
Like the spreadsheet side of it?
Yeah.
Like I used to actually, this is dark to say, but a year ago, I used to manually go and say I had 100 auctions for the week. They didn't used to have folders and they didn't used to have certain numbers that they would export you in your sales. I used to manually go in. This Raichu is that guy's. This Charizard is that guy's. This is this guy's. And I used to manually go in and I used to, this is paid, this is not paid. And every week I used to do that. And now what it is, I get a 5,000 row CSV and I dump that into one master spreadsheet. And I have 200 individual consignor spreadsheets. I dump the file into one place and every other sheet populates with VLOOKUPs and XM. I don't even know what all the things are, but there are all these formulas that me and ChatGPT, mostly ChatGPT, came up with. If I were a programmer of some kind, I could do some kind of a database thing. I could do a lot cleaner method, but unfortunately I'm not, and I just vibe coded through ChatGPT.
Okay.
Continuing on though, so we can work this 20 question backlog down. Thoughts on stacking up on Brilliant Stars Charizards? They have only gone up 20% this boom compared to some things 10xing. I'm not personally. I think there's better ways to spend my capital, my cash flow over the short, intermediate, and long term. But if I had a way, this is one thing I always come back to. If I had a way to just buy 20 grand of them, I might be more prone to do that. And that's why I do more of my plays like that with promos. If I have the ability to buy 1,000 of something or 500 of something, I'll more go for it. But like the process of putting 10 grand into Brilliant Stars Charizards just sounds miserable. Going to TCG Player and buying a bunch and getting some canceled and getting some fake things. Going to eBay, going to TCG Player and paying sales tax. They don't even give me sales tax exemption anymore. Like it just sounds miserable. I'm not going to go. So I'm not your competition with a play like that.
I think it's easier than you're thinking. You post it, on Instagram. Post an Instagram story, and you get people to reach
for
out.
That one card though, like I just buy all the cards. I just buy all the cards at 80%.
No, well, you can't be buying it. You can't say I'm buying it 80%. That's just flipping. You got to say I'm buying at market. But I'll say better than the Brilliant Stars are Charizard. Go for the Phantasmal Charizard. SIR. I honestly don't think that's going to get much cheaper. I don't, even though it's such a new card and such a new set. I think you can make a very strong argument for that being the best Charizard artwork in the hobby. And I just think there's so much demand for that card, and I don't think it's going to get much cheaper. So I would say buy that one. Forget about the Brilliant Stars Charizard.
Nick's on the pump.
Yes.
What do you consider low pop? Less than 1K, 500? I saw Pokemon Steven at the time this question was asked. He said 2. Anything under 2 is low pop. No, it's relative. I think some people take it being relative way too far. I think, oh, well, the new low pop is there's so many more people, and yeah, there's so many more people for now. That might not last forever. But I think low pop is sub 100. I think anything higher than 100 is I mean, there's low and there's lower and there's lowest. So lowest is sub 100. I think that's in a class of its own. The lower the better. All these dummies out here saying pop doesn't matter. I don't know when it will happen, but I'm pretty sure most of them will see a rude awakening on that sentiment, because I think it's really, really dumb.
I don't know. I think there are different low pops. Like WotC is different than modern. Something like the Haunter we were talking about, that could be considered low pop.
It is today, but in 20 years it won't be. In 20 years, like, that'll blend in amongst all the other higher pop things, and the low pop of the WotC of the first will stand out.
I just think you can't compare the print quality that we had with Jungle to what we have today. Of course, WotC is going to be so much lower pop than today. People weren't grading back then. Grading didn't exist back then. Whereas now people are grading right out of the gate. I think
that's going to age poorly for investors.
No, you can't compare pop with WotC to pop with the newest set. So yeah, I would say they are completely different things.
Question, purely a value play. If you had a full set of base set unlimited in a binder, would you keep it as is or try grading? I personally see more value in keeping it as a binder set, but want your thoughts. I have my childhood binder set, never breaking it up, never grading it. But one thing that is almost always the case, in my opinion, the sum of the parts are almost always greater than the whole. I always characterize it as a funnel thing. Some subset of people will want a complete binder set of base unlimited. Quite a few people. but more people just want the Charizard, or they just want the Pikachu, or they just want whatever it is. One consideration that does come up is a time thing. I recently bought a master set collection of everything Sword Shield. I'm not going to parse out individually all the non-hollows, I'm going to sell like a non-hollow set or reverse hollow set. There's no way I'm going to be caught breaking down individual bulk cards or individual bulk sleeves or anything like that in a boom. I had to do it.
Oh God. I would say if it's minty, you should grade it. If it's like a typical binder collection, I wouldn't worry about grading it. But yeah, yeah. So he's talking about value, so money. So I would say if it's gradable, grade it. If it's not gradable, don't grade it, and then sell it as a binder. That would be my thing.
If you get booster boxes at 100 or thereabouts, there isn't really a risk of aging poorly. Only if you get it much later, you'll take on. Oh, this wasn't a question, I guess. What will the graded premium be for an Evolving Skies booster box?
Ooh,
probably too high. If a box is 2,500, if there's a 10, it'll be super low pop, and it'll be like 12 or 15 grand probably. If it's hard enough to get. If most boxes are tenable, then like, is it going to be comic book grading? Is it going to be 9.8, 10.0? Where 10.0 you might grade 10,000 of them, and there's 10 10s. It could be a $50,000 box. It could be an $80,000 box. Like, the premium could be stupid. We could be looking at like greater than Black Label premium. But is it going to be where 25% of all of them graded get 10s? No idea. So yeah, it hinges on the answer to that question. Because pop does matter, as people don't say, don't agree with, but it's true.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how when Rusty gets his boxes back, what they look like, what the slabs look like, and then what kind of scale they use for grading. That'll be really interesting. I'm excited for that. I do agree there will be an absolutely massive premium, especially on the first few sales when there's not much available. And then if the 10s are hard to get, there's going to be a massive premium. I think even as like a 9, I think there's a massive. I would say like a $5,000. So like, say it's similar to card grading, where a 9 is like a near mint card. Like they're priced similar. A PSA 9 versus raw near mint is similar pricing. In relatively, like, near mint equals 9 usually. Say that's the same thing with boxes. I would say even then there's going to be a decent premium for graded 9s in sealed product.
I just looked at my Discord quickly while you were answering that, and people were tagging me in Discord on some individual sleeve plays.
See?
Oh man. Here's a fun one. Kiki wants to know, what's the greatest threat to the hobby? War, money extractors, or memes? I think we're fueled by memes, so I think memes are like the biggest the biggest like rocket propulsion that we have in the space. I think I'm trying to think if I want to answer this as a meme or real. I think the only thing that can kill Pokemon is like nuclear winter. I mean, we're booming in ways that cannot be stopped through anything other than World War III at this point. So I think war is the only thing that could stop us. And hopefully, that said, hopefully we don't undergo some massive nuclear issue.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, the memes definitely keep it going. Look at the stupid Starmie in the Perfect Order. Yep. Because of that Patrick meme. I honestly think that's the only reason those boxes are on the climb again. What else is there in that set? That set is awful. Yet boxes are climbing up to 250 again. It's wild.
We are booming. Yeah, it's crazy. I can't believe what's going on right now. It's crazy. And that's a good pivot into this. The perfect order being 250. Dan, are you finding it difficult to stay committed to the pallets? Are you setting back less? Absolutely, I'm setting back less. I made it a mandate for the pallet thing that like I was going to set back at least 4 cases of every set. I'm setting back only 4 cases of most sets at this point because I just don't agree with the valuations. It might age poorly. Like I might not have a whole lot of certain sets, but I'd rather like, and what I'm doing with the money instead, like I'm doing well. I'm buying Crown Zenith. I'm buying 151. I'm buying things that like over the same time period performed really, really well. Just as well, maybe not. Some better, some worse. But absolutely, the pallet experiment will continue through 2030 at minimum. But at some point, like in 2029, I might have multi-million dollars worth of pallets if the bull case hits. Will it be hard to not sell them all? In a way, but in another way, from the other angle, if the pallets are ever worth multi-millions, that means that all my other business inventory is worth crap tons of money too. And as crazy as it sounds, like I won't need those millions because I'll have millions of other millions. Like it is crazy what is going on right now. I can't believe it. Every time a new set lands, it's like just count up how much money you made having a 12-year relationship with your distro, having that allocation. And my numbers are nothing compared to some of the big ones. Like I remember I listened to Eli and Alex, Pokemart and Nostalgianomics on their podcast on Mondays. Eli did the math one time, and it was like, I forget if it was Phantasmal or Mega Evolution. It was one of the relatively recent sets. Had he just taken his entire allocation and sold it onto the open market, one set release, it was like $250,000 that he was shortchanging himself, like not scamming his entire wholesale program. It's he could literally net over $1 million a year just sending his allocation into DC Sports, into the open market, into eBay, into wherever. That is obscene. And I have a tiny fraction of that, but I made high 5 figures last year, literally just in market price being higher than my wholesale cost. That will not last forever. That cannot last forever.
No. Yeah, I'm not setting back more than usual. I did set back most of my Ascended ETBs. So I think I have 8 cases of those set back. But yeah, aside from that, I'm just setting back the normal amount of booster boxes. Nothing extra. And it is getting a lot tougher to not just not set anything back and sell it all.
Do you see PC ETBs being a premium long-term product, or will it lose its shine in time? I have no idea. And my personal anecdote, I used to have every single ETB that came out. PC ETBs ruined it for me. Some people love them and they collect all of them, and I hated all the variants. I'm not a big variant guy. I had one of every ETB from Plasma Storm all the way up until the most recent one, and then they started coming out with PC ETBs, and it's like, hey guys, that's the straw that broke the camel back. It's too much for me to keep up with. I'm gonna sell them all. And someday, like there's UPCs, there's SPCs. At some point, I think it will, to an extent, lose its shine. At some point, I think it'll lose its luster, and it'll be on to the next thing. Pokemon will find some very easy way to take a lot more money from us as a hobby, as a consumer base. I'm bullish on that. And that's the thing that drives me crazy too. Is like I used to, back in the day, I used to try to keep one of each sealed collection box. In the XY era, I had every Tyrantrum EX and Gallade EX and Gengar EX collection and all. And then they come out with so many different things. It's impossible to keep up with everything. And that steers me away from collecting in that fashion. So maybe I'm the exception, but that's at least my personal anecdote on that.
I think they always will. People love the stamps. People love variants. I think PC ETBs will always do well. And then there's a barrier to entry, like you were just talking about. You don't want to invest in them because you can't easily get them. You can't easily get them in quantity. So even like it's not just if you have the money you can buy them. There's a further barrier to entry that even if you have the money, you got to find them. And are you wanting to spend that much time finding them and sourcing them and all that stuff? Whereas I think booster boxes and packs and all that stuff are a lot easier to source. So I really do like the PCTVs, and I think those will continue to do well. I don't have a ton of them, but I've got a decent bit of them set back.
I started this one, but I didn't even read it. Dan Only, who's your favorite subcontractor under a KetchumAllCollectibles brand? We know you have one. I genuinely don't. I'm not memeing here. I'm not making things up. Like I genuinely don't. I'm terrible at picking favorites. Some of my favorite Pokemon include Quaxly and Haunter and Charmander and Dragonite and Charizard and Mewtwo and Pikachu, and I'm so bad at picking favorites. I genuinely don't have one. I love that I have the opportunity to provide the mutually beneficial relationship that exists between me and each one of them. I always tell them, like, let me know if there's any way that we can additionally grow together. If there's any idea that you have where I can help you, you can help me, like we can win together. I love that whole setup. It's crazy that I get to do this as a job, and it's crazy how we're all booming together in this space. Kind of sappy answer, but like I love what's going on right now. It is amazing. I hope more quit their jobs sometime soon. Yes, you.
Yes.
I don't know if they're all in here, but someone clip that and send it to all my independent contractors. I need them all full time as soon as possible. Yeah, and I can't wait till next month when they're all here at one time under one roof. I had a blast with the two Fanatics ones over in New York City a couple weeks ago. It's crazy. This is not going to last forever, I don't think, but I'm enjoying it while it lasts. This is a crazy ride we're on.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Geto wants to know, when do we get a generation of AI/robotic Pokemon? We have Varoom. We have Rotom, kind of like that. He like powers different appliances or whatever. We have a couple robotic type things, but I feel like we could use more. We could definitely use some more.
No, stop it. We don't need any more. Those are like the worst Pokemon, too. I'll take the Gen 10 starters over Revaroom.
I'll take Braum over
Rotom. Sure. Rotom is kind of cool. I like the fan Rotom in Ascended. I think that's good. But Revaroom, that is the worst SIR. It's such a dumb card.
Let's see. Oh, I did that one already. Do you see Pokemon doing something equal to collector boxes like Magic the Gathering? Long enough timeline, yes. I think Magic went that way for a specific reason. I think they needed to some extent. I think on a long enough timeline, and this could be decades, there will be serialized in Pokemon. There will be a premium secondary. Sports has hobby boxes and like whatever they call the fancy ones. It's a tried and true method. It works for sports. It works for Magic. So if and when needed, Pokemon will do it, in my opinion.
I don't know. Maybe. I just don't think Pokemon needs to do anything. Maybe if things slow down. It does not seem like Pokemon needs to do anything right now. And there's so much that they can do to kind of bring things back to life if they need to.
We'll see what happens. Do you think Pokemon ever reprints the Illustrator as a promo or a set card? Again, long enough timeline, it wouldn't be shocking. I would lean towards no, but I wouldn't be blown away if they did.
I would probably say no, because it was like a prize card. That's like would they reprint Art Academies where they already said if you win this contest you get 100 copies. Did they say something like that with the illustrator? I have no idea, but I would lean towards no. Who's gonna want a stupid half art nowadays?
They could do a reimagined full art. I mean,
maybe something like that. Speaking of that, did you see what do you think of that like the custom Pikachu illustrator on Golden Sunday? That was really cool. I really liked that. I wish it wasn't so expensive. But I would have loved to buy that.
It was fine, but like the biggest thing I always come back to is like what I could do with that amount of money, what I could like I don't value it this much. I like these things. These things were like $40 or whatever. I would have a hard time spending. I'm not that rich, Nick. Like what are we doing?
Okay, stop it, Mr. $10 million profit last year.
Yeah. net profit, yes. I'm doing all right over here. Oh, here we go. This one I meant to take earlier and I just forgot to. PSA once damaged one of my cards. They told me the employee rolled over it with their chair. It graded a 2.5 and has a big crease. That's actually hilarious because there was one time that I was pre-grading, like it was something that I had a ton of and it wasn't that expensive. Maybe it was like McDonald's Pikachu's or something. I dropped it. I went to slide my chair to grab it and I literally rolled like right over the card. I probably have it somewhere set in one of these boxes. But I've rolled over my own card before with my computer chair wheels.
I don't think I've ever done that before. I can't remember. Maybe. I can't remember a time where I've ever done that though.
This is an interesting one. Thought experiment. If the rarest cards became commons in a pack and the common cards were the rares, would we value the commons like we do the rares? I think this points a little bit towards a conversation around like how much does art matter? And one thing I'll say too, if you flip through a master set binder, there are solid arts in common cards. There are solid cards, solid arts in half arts and regular hollows and in non-hollow rares. There are solid arts all around. But having really good art helps. But having really good art is not everything. I think people in today's Pokemon space overdo it with like how much the art matters. They overdo it with how much the pop doesn't matter. I think things like that actually matter less. And as evidence, like the whole pop doesn't matter and the whole blah blah blah. Like there are right now as we speak, there are auctions ending for $10,000 from like half art Heracrosses and half art Meganiums and half art like relatively low popular species, and because people need to complete their sets. So I think if you printed, take it to the extreme. So base set, you have Charmander. That is in the 2-player starter set. That is in the Brushfire theme deck. There are 10 plus million base set unlimited Charmanders. What if that was the Charizard? What if you got 4 Charizards in every 2-player starter set? And what if the Charmander was a 1 of 15 pull rate and it was the same like boring artwork? I think the Charmander would be worth more. I think supply matters to that extent. I think artwork couldn't overcome. The Charmander would it be worth way more? Probably not way more, but I think it would be worth more than the Hollow Charizard if the print discrepancy was that massive. I mean, you're talking, I don't know the math off the top of my head, but there are probably 100 times as many Charizard Unlimiteds as there are Charmander Unlimiteds as there are Charizards. Maybe even more. There might be 500 Charmanders for every Charizard, given that they're in those 2 decks that were printed millions of times. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. My initial thought was just Pokemon wouldn't be a thing. Pokemon would just die. Nobody would be interested in it. I don't know.
That's a good point. Pokemon would have been Beanie Babies. If Charizard Hollow was that accessible, Pokemon would have died in 2002 probably. And that's something that like, and sorry to cut in what you were saying, but you started me down a good path. If Moonbreon was in every pack of Evolving Skies, I don't care about the art. I don't care about how good it is. I don't care about all these things. Pop doesn't matter. Pop does matter. Because if Moonbreon was in every pack, it would be a $10 card or less. Or I guess the packs are 30 now. Maybe it could be a $25 card. It could be 25. There would have to be some. It would be like a $5 card if it was in every pack of Evolving Skies, or less. Probably way less than $5 card.
It'd be way less.
Yeah, and so that's where like this whole Pop doesn't matter crowd, they're in for a rude awakening someday. Like right now we're booming. Right now, rocket emojis, gray felt hat, Charizard 1v1 SIR, all these cards. Who cares? Double the price. Add a zero, add a comma. But that's not always going to be the case.
Yeah. I think it would just. Yeah, I do think art's important. Yes. But yeah, I just think all the chase cards now are really popular Pokemon with good art, whereas the common cards they're decently popular Pokemon, but they aren't super popular Pokemon. So I just think people would lose interest really quickly and get out of the hobby. I think it's similar to like if Pokemon was worthless, would you still be in it? And yes, you have those diehard fans that are saying they would still be here. But I think the vast majority of people would not care whatsoever.
Squeak said, base at first chance, he disproves everything you're saying. I'm not sure. I'm assuming that was said when I was ranting. I'm not sure what part of that.
I didn't understand that.
Squeaks, let us know. I don't know if you're pushing back on something I was saying or if it's a chat thing that I just missed out on. Maybe it's pushing back on this. Public perception is the largest factor for value. If the thought leaders say something should be pricey, it will be. I don't know exactly. I think it happened during my rant. But yeah, Squeaks, let us know if you're still there listening. I'll come back to it. But I think it's an interesting conversation. And I like gray felt hat. If you printed 8 billion of them and everyone on the planet truly could have one, it would not have the value that it does. Get yourself some sleeves. Thanks, Pokepops.
Thanks, Pokepops. Love you.
Squeak says, it's okay. We can move on. I'm not that invested. UAP was on board with him because he gave him the old pointing out the comment. But UAP, Squeaks, I guess they don't want to let us know. But we'll continue on. There was a big sale of the first print mangas of Dragon Ball, One Piece, and Naruto. Our first print Pokemon mangas undervalued. Are you like panic buying a bunch of mangas? Are you chasing that? I saw Jeremy Padower. I don't know how to say his last name, but I saw the big Instagram post and Kevin O'Leary wearing one of his sports cards around his neck and my dentist talking to me about Pokemon cards, and we're feeling a little frothy out here, folks. As I always say, a 30% drop is coming. Will we triple up between now and then, though? I don't know where the top is going to be, but it feels like it's coming sometime relatively soon. Not financial advice, and I've got a lot of money out on specs, and place your bets. But I'm not touching mangas. I never interacted with them as a child. I have no nostalgia towards them. I probably could make money. I could probably go spend 2 hours talking with like some people who know about them, and I could probably be in some Discord, watch a couple YouTube videos. I could probably blindly spend 50 grand and like double my money in mangas over the next. But there's some chance that I lose a bunch of money too, being late to it. And I'm gonna just go buy 50 grand with a Pokemon at 80%, and there's a chance it doubles in the next 2 months again. And there's a chance it goes down, but I at least know what I'm doing there. So I'm going to continue on in Pokemon where I kind of know what's up.
That's my thing. I don't know anything about it, but like Jeremy's very smart. So I will say it's probably going to happen because he knows this stuff. And I don't know anything about it, but like, he compared manga to comic books, and I like remember like back in the day, my grandpa was huge into comic books. because that's like all they had to do. They didn't have good TV. So comic books were like a major part of his childhood. And then even like in the 80s, 90s, comic books were really big. Was manga ever that big? Because I never got into it. So I don't know. But that's the only thing I can think is were they really that big? Whereas comic books were absolutely massive back in the day.
And one thing I'll say quite confidently is that I think Jeremy Padawer will make a lot of money with mangas. I think Squeaks Game World will make a lot of money with mangas. They already have them. I think that depending on your timing, if you go panic buy with 50 grand tomorrow, you might still be early enough that you'll make money. You might have a year, you might have 2 years. But at some point, like a lot of these things do, it'll get a little bit too ahead of its skis. It'll go crazy. Padawer will sell some. Squeaks will sell a lot of them and make a ton of money. And then more likely than not, in my opinion at least, I'm open to being entirely wrong. I really don't care. I think they'll kind of fizzle. I think they'll kind of, the bubble will pop to some extent. And then 5-10 years later, it could be like, oh man, Squeak sold and he made multiple 6 figures, but he sold too soon. Some of the grails of grails. Like I could see a scenario like that happening. But I think like anything else, like 2021, like today, a lot of us are making a lot of money, but a lot of us are making a lot of money at the hands of dummies that are coming in buying these things at crazy prices. And at some point, I don't know when, there's going to be a decent amount of people that lose a decent amount of money. There are people that I sold $7,000 base set unlimited PSA 9 Charizards to in the last boom. And disproportionately, they were get rich quick dummies. And there will be get rich quick dummies in manga that make Squeaks richer. I was going to say rich, but make him richer. And so, yeah, like I'm bullish on them. If guys like Squeaks and Jeremy are bullish on them, but I think the biggest winners will be guys like them. And I think there's going to be a lot of losers, and just know your risks and do your own due diligence and all that crap. And, but who cares? We're booming. Go get that bag. And he says, like, shout out to Squeaks for like, I always do the same thing. It's like, I tell you what I have. I tell you I'm invested. I think Jeremy mentioned that he had put X amount into collectibles and X amount into mangas. We'll see though. I'm very open to being wrong, but I really think like 20-30 years, we're going to look back and we had lost our collective minds in that 2-decade-long period between 2020 and hopefully 2040 or whatever the time frames end up being. I think a lot of things will be looked back on like, what the hell were we doing? I guess that's why I'm called bearish though.
With all the AI, I don't think it'll be a case like that where collectibles. You're like saying collectibles are going to start going down. I think they're definitely going to pick up. With AI and AI taking everyone's jobs, if that actually does happen and people have more time on their hands, I think this stuff could really pick up.
Either way, I'm along for the ride. I'm interested to see where it all goes. I'm heavily invested in this specific cardboard, that specific cardboard, whatever it is, paper. I'm not cardstock. I don't know what it is. I'm not getting into it, and I'm perfectly fine being like, I'm not even estimating it. That's the thing. Like, I'm not underestimating it. I'm not estimating it. I tried anime. I tried Naruto. I tried Dragon Ball Z. I'm not an anime guy. I can't watch it. I don't enjoy it. Anything else, give me like anything else. I will engage in those and be happy to, but it's just not for me. And I think one thing too, and I'm not saying this about Squeaks, I'm just saying this about people in general. I think people think that like everything just has to like, they project out their own experiences, their own nostalgia with all this. And it's like, people can have experiences and nostalgia with something. Like I have some friends who they play all the Pokemon video games. They've played all of them the whole way. They never left. They have never touched a card and they never will. They will never buy a cell. I know, like, close friend of both of us, Radar. He's I wouldn't say he's like pumping them, but he's posting a lot about anime cells on Instagram recently. And I know tons of people that enjoy Dragon Ball Z like a lot, and some of them have a lot of money, and frankly, they'll never care to, like, the collector gene, I guess, is what I'm getting at. That whole collector gene. Some people have it, some people don't. I think there's some conversation to happen around that, but it's all a law of numbers thing. If X amount of millions of people watch Naruto, watch Dragon Ball Z and One Piece, and in some percentage of that funnel into the shonens and the mangas and the whatevers, like, I get the math behind how it could be very lucrative. And as I always say too, if you put 20 grand into mangas, worst case scenario, you lose 20 grand. You can't lose more than you put in, right? So worst case is negative 100%. Best case, there are some mangas that could be bought today. There are some mangas that were bought in the past year or two. There will probably be people that 1000x. There are people over the past 10 years that have 1000x Pokemon cards. And when your downside is -1 and your upside is plus 1000, mathematically, I like those odds, right? So I would not remotely fault somebody who has the knowledge, experience, has the time, has the desire, has the collector enjoyment. Absolutely. Go speculate in mangas and whatever, or just go collect them. And maybe you do it out of enjoyment purely as a collector. And like has happened in the past 10 years and 5 years in Pokemon, some people that were purely collectors never intended on selling. Some of them turned into millionaires and they sold it all and they funded their life and they became financially independent and they paid off their houses. And so like I'm not poo-pooing mangas by any stretch. They're just not for me. It's another one of those things that I don't care about. And like, does it, like, I don't care about Superman. I don't care about Spider-Man. I don't care about, like, a lot of that stuff. I'm not yucking yums. I'm just speaking realities. Like if and when I have additional time, I want to venture more into coins personally. I want to venture more into other endeavors. I'm already on a path where, like, I'll have way more than enough with my traditional investments, with my Pokemon collecting. So it's like, if I'm going to YOLO, try to become a decamillionaire, a centimillionaire, or whatever, I just don't care to. Like, I don't care to learn more about manga. I don't care to learn about One Piece. I'm glad that everyone loves the pirates and the loofah and all the things. And I just don't. And I think one way a lot of people burn themselves out is like, somebody in a Pokemon chat just said One Piece. Somebody in a Pokemon chat just said manga. Somebody said Dragon Ball Fusion World. And they go crazy analyzing, going down all these rabbit holes, engaging in all these things. And then they burn themselves out in 2 weeks and they take a 6-month break. And then they come back and like, oh, Pokemon 5X'd again. I wish I hadn't left. I wish I hadn't burned myself out reading about One Piece, shonen manga, whatever. Like, will people probably make a lot of money? Decent likelihood. But yeah, I'm not going to engage. I love Pokemon. I always have since 99 when I first got introduced to it. And I tried. I tried. Like, there was some percent chance that I dove into mangas and animes and all this stuff and loved it, but it's just not for me.
I'm there with you. I don't care about it. And you do actually have to be interested to do well with stuff.
See, Mason, I just laid out the math. I laid out, like, I know there's upside potential. I know it's probably plus EV for me to YOLO a 50K gamble. And last time I YOLO'd a gamble like that was One Piece cards. Cards were close enough to me that, like, I love 2.5 by 3.5 inch cardboard rectangles, especially when the corners are round. Ooh, you give me 2.5 inch by 3.5 inch square corner. I had some of those. Not a huge fan. But you put a rounded edge on those bad boys, I'm all in. I saw someone talking about One Piece in a thing before, so I dove down a rabbit hole. I looked into it. It's like, my distro has it. GTS has it. Let me get it. Actually, Dragon Ball Super World. I bought some Dragon Ball Super World. I have some allocation coming to me later this fall. I'm taking a shot in the dark. I don't care about Dragon Ball whatsoever, but I want to make money. It's right there. It gets up my distro spend, so maybe it'll help Pokemon allocations in the future, whatever. But so I've taken shots on things like One Piece, on things that were low hanging enough fruit. But like for me to go and sit down and spend 2 hours researching manga. Like if I'm going to spend I'm going to go play 2 hours of RuneScape, frankly. We're booming. I will go lose money playing 2 hours of RuneScape before I spend 2 hours reading about 25-year-old manga. Like I don't care. and one thing that's kind of scary too is like, it's a little scary how overconfident in my opinion some people are on like, this is guaranteed, guys. Dan is crazy for not diving in because we're all gonna get rich. It feels a little irrationally exuberant. It feels a little bubbly. Like, you guys probably will be right, but there's also some risk that I put 50 grand in it on a YOLO and then I just lose most of it. Some combination of it not panning out the way that some of you guys think it will, and some combination of me thinking I'm clicking the right button, and then I accidentally click the wrong button, and I buy the wrong one. That's the unlimited reprint. That's the newsstand variety. That's not the collector's stamped holographic, not like alternate art cover. Like, I don't know any of that crap, and I don't want to spend 2 hours learning it. The upside that it could become, the EV is not calculating for me, even though I could probably turn 50 grand into 500 grand. I could also turn it into less, and the effort and I've chosen not to, if that makes sense.
There's only so much time in the day. Why not spend it on stuff you know is going to work?
And there's only so much money you need too, right? Maybe not everyone can relate to that, but there truly is. At some point, if I'm going to spend additional time doing something, it's not going to be a shot in the dark on these old manga things and putting more things in plastic. I already put enough different kinds of things in plastic.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
But I'm not yucking yums. If people love mangas, that's great. I just think largely, again, and I could be wrong, and I think mangas will be a broader part of this. I am bearish on all these third-party authenticated things 20, 30, 50 years from now. Most people, like, you can't wrap your mind around 20, 30, 50 years. Like, I'm not 50. I'm not even halfway there. So, but, like, I think there's more than likely, I think we're going to look back. It's going to be cards. It's going to be VHSs. It's going to be video games. It's going to be not everything, but mostly everything. I think we're going to look back. We were lunatics. We were in a graded slab plastic super bubble. I hope I'm wrong. It will pan out better for us financially if I'm wrong. But I think the likelihood is fairly high that we look back and like all this stuff. Maybe your PSA 10 base versus Charizards are multi-millions, and your Illustrator and your whatever. Maybe there's a selection of things that like had good real returns. But overall, like I'm not bullish on third-party authenticated things. And a huge part of that is because I know how much of a joke it is. But like the true like average normie will probably never come around to my way of thinking on that. So
I think there's a lot of people who will never come here, never agree with you on that. I don't agree with you on that. Grading is never going away. It's going to be here to stay. You think people are going to stop grading and go back to binder collecting?
I mean, I think there's some chance that collecting in this fashion to this level, like, just largely goes away. Can you, like, 25, 30 years ago?
Stuff. Why is it going to go away?
25, 30 years ago, what the world was. Like, I think, and maybe, yeah, I was just having this conversation the other day in office hours a little bit, but I think in the next, I think in our lifetimes, almost certainly in my grandchildren's lifetimes, I think like robotics and whether it's AI, whatever you want to call it, I think that there will be a future in the relatively near term where 90% of people on the planet don't have to work. I think we will be in a world of abundance and excess, and maybe that's bullish for collectibles. Maybe the 10% that have all this excess, maybe they engage in it more. But I just see like this future where we're getting so far out in the weeds. Short plastic, long cardboard. is what I am over the short, intermediate term. Very long term, I'm still bullish on Pokemon as an IP and cardboard in general. But the third party grading thing, I'm a man of science. I'm a man of like, when you make a measurement, when you make like when you put a grade out of 10 on a slab, it should mean something, and it doesn't mean a whole lot. And what we attribute to that value, like what we value that as a market, it is obscene to me. I think eventually people will swing to my side of it to some extent. I think a lot of people will be burned. But who cares? Like ultimately, I'm talking about it a lot now. I don't think about it that much in my day to day. I'm just grinding my business, making my multiple six figures. We're booming. But the fact that some of these conversations at times will like scare certain people is scary to me. I think all this is crazy. Dan yearns for us to live in the woods and hunt for our own food. Not at all. Not like someday me just living on a parcel of land, just having like a having my own thing going on. A homestead. That would be really cool. But I know that's not for everybody. I know I'm a very strange one. I have a lot of opinions that not a lot of people hold. But I think it's dangerous to and here's something I'll say too. Just the other day, Alex made a video. On he's bullish on SV and he's more bearish, relative, not bearish on like Sword Shield's going to go down. But he made a video that he thinks SV will outperform Sword Shield in the coming months, years, whatever. And I think he has reasonable logic to support it, and I don't entirely agree. I had 5 people email me yesterday with collections of Sword and Shield. I think it's scary how many people are just blind followers, and I don't think this is Squeak's intention. I don't think this is I don't know Jeremy like I know Squeaks, but I think there are some people with bad intentions. I think someone seeing someone being so bullish in Squeaks being in the live chat talking about it, I think it's not your intent, but there will be people reading your, and maybe not here in Pokeflipz. There will be people though reading that, blindly following it, and most of the money that you take out when you inevitably sell your mangas for more money, they'll be from those dummies that blindly followed. And that's just kind of scary. That's why I'm deemed bearish, because I say that like the upside might not hit. But do the math. If the upside is 1,000x and the downside is only minus 1x, if there's a 10% chance of the upside hitting, that is so plus EV, it's disgusting. If there's a 90% chance it goes bust and a 10% chance you 100 extra money, 1,000 extra money, that is so inherently plus EV. Yeah, I don't know. Ultimately, we can continue on. We have more started questions, but what are your thoughts, Nick? Anything to wrap up on that? I see Mason talking to you in chat.
We can switch, but I don't agree with you on the grading thing. I think that'll always be a thing. I think with AI, that's just gonna bring more people into the hobby. I don't know. I don't think I agree with you. I think we're different in that regard.
We agree on the manga thing, though. Like I
we
think
do agree on that. We're the same on that.
You have the means that you could put 25 grand into manga tomorrow, and you probably also agree that like there's some world where the 25 grand you put into manga tomorrow goes to zero. You buy the wrong thing, it doesn't pan out the way some people think it will. Whatever the case, you agree that like your 25 could go to functionally zero, and then you also agree that done right, your 25 grand could potentially go to 250 grand, could go to $1 million.
Yeah.
And simultaneously, you agree with me on all those premises, which I think are just plain logical. I think some people would say, "Oh no, I guarantee it won't go to zero." Like, I disagree, but like that just is what it is. But some people would say, like, Nick, you're crazy for not pursuing. Every day there are.
I think you have to have an interest in things. You can't just.
You have to have limits. Like there are altcoins in crypto that buying them today, I can almost guarantee there are some crypto, there are some coins, there's some individual stock play. There is something today you can buy that within 3 years you will 100 extra money. But am I gonna turn over every stone? Am I gonna try to find every one of those? No, I would go insane. I found something where I make disgusting amounts of money, frankly. And I'm just gonna, okay, add One Piece. My one distro that I buy Pokemon from has One Piece. I'll add that, sure. MetaZoo, that seems interesting. I'll add that. That one didn't pan out that well. So far, we could still be early to MetaZoo 2.0. But oh, Dragon Ball Fusion World, I have some of it coming in the fall. I take shots here and there, but I just, yeah, it is what it is. I'm not going down the manga rabbit hole is where I'm at.
No, I'm there with you. I'm there with you.
Yeah, and I'm not missing that point. I'm not missing the point that other people are nostalgic for manga. I'm not missing the point that it could 1000x my money. I realize those things. I just don't have that care. I don't have the overlap in the nostalgia. So I'm choosing to not participate. It feels weird that like that isn't seeming to be understood. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm just arguing with myself here. I don't know. But
no, I think you make perfect sense. People are just saying, I don't know.
It feels weird.
Makes sense. You don't care. Who cares about this stuff? You're making enough money in Pokemon. Why go to something that you don't know about? That's not proven. That could go either way.
And to some extent too, I do feel a little bit weird about it at times because it's like, and again, like I'll use John as an example. I love John. I love Radar. I believe that he fully, genuinely loves that stuff, loves the cells, and I have the same clock he has. I have the same clock. I love the clock. I love, like, he has all the cells around it. I can picture his Instagram post that he shares from time to time. But some part of him also wants to make a crap ton of money off that stuff too. Just being, I think he would admit that. I think he would admit that some amount of him wants to make a crap ton of money off that. My palettes, all my Pokemon speculations, I simultaneously love it. I understand it, but I also want to make a crap ton of money off it. I want / need to some extent there to be a greater pool there. And the earlier you are into something, the more the risk, the more the reward is. So I think it's wise. If I had 50 grand in manga, and this is where the whole conversation comes. Are you pumping your bags because you're trying to create the greater pool that you can dump your stuff on? I don't think that's what some people 100% are doing that. Some people do that in Pokemon. Do I think Squeaks is doing that? Do I think John is doing that? No. I think there are better people than that. I'm not going to go further up the chain, and I think there are some people that are definitely pumping bags that they're trying to pawn off. But I had somewhere that I was going with that. Let me see if I can find it again. I think the risk to some extent is being like understated, and now Squeaks is memeing pump, 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 baby to the moon. But yeah, I think there's an interesting conversation. Like you could try to say, oh, these people are just pumping their bags. That's not what I'm saying. I think there's a lot of people that fully believe in it all, and I think the reason they own it is because they believe in it. But a wise, savvy investor would build their position quietly, and then they would go on the pump, and that's what's going on. Like that's definitely happening to some extent. I think just be careful. Make sure you actually enjoy to some extent all this stuff at the end of the day, because I think it's all a lot more speculative, Pokemon included. I think a lot of people's takes on what prices can and can't do and will and won't do are just actually insane. But yeah, pump to the moon. Let's go. Who cares? At the end of the day, it's like, we're booming. Make your money. I had scary conversations 5 years ago. I had scary conversations with the people who bought my $7,000 base unlimited Charizards. I still sold them to them. They asked me if they were good investments. They were trying to get rich quick. Yeah, I don't know. We do have 11 backlog questions, though. When does Boom ends, will we lose our beloved Z from YouTube?
Yeah, we're gonna lose Z any day now. And
Old School Pokemon, I think.
No, we've already got my sleeve video planned.
I have no faith. You will not be posting in 6 months. James will not be posting in 6 months. Or you'll stop in 2 months and then you'll come back 6 months later. So like maybe you will be posting it, but it won't be, you will not be posting consistently on your current schedule for the next 6 months. James is already in and out. James takes a 2-week break, a 3-week break, then he does 2 in a row, and he's got the sunglasses on. And I wish they'd come, but no, I'm bearish on the consistency of, I'm going to call them out too. We got Mason and Squeaky in chat. I've been talking about John a little bit. I'm going to call out the Off Center podcast. I don't think they're going to consistently post for the next 6 months. But maybe they'll be pumping their cells and their mangas and stuff. So maybe they will be. Maybe that's their marketing plan all along. I just cracked it. I just cracked it right there. They came back so that they can pump their mangas and cells. Yeah, the sleeve video is definitely going to perform like a Metazoo video does for me. That's going to
be if I say title it like the Steal My Business, Make Millions. It's gonna be a 1 out of 10. Nobody's gonna watch it. It's gonna have such good engagement because I'm gonna get absolutely roasted in the comments. I think it's gonna be a 1 out of 10. Because first off, you gotta remember too, my videos are doing terribly because YouTube doesn't.
So you're on the upswing,
yeah.
If it's your 10th video,
really good.
Yeah, how does that even work? But when you post a video, your first video back, it was comparing against your 3-year-old last 9 videos. Like you must have got 10 out of 10 for all of them. 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10.
This latest one's been my best one, and it's 7 out of 10.
Because it's still being measured against like 3-year-old videos. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I never thought about that before. That's hilarious though. Pokepops wants to know, do I strictly do Pokemon? So the live streams, we strictly do Pokemon. We've done a little bit of Metazoo from time to time. But CGC Fanatics, WWE, anything that CGC grades, I will do through CGC Fanatics. How can you tell a reseal on a booster box looking at one here at work and the Pokeball and the wrapper is cut off by the seal on the side? Does that happen? That's tough. You would need to have it in hand. CT scan. How valuable of a box is it? CT scan it. Costs a couple hundred. Well, I don't know how much it costs exactly, but less than a couple $100, even for very expensive boxes, I think. Or open it, and then you'll know.
Open it. That's awesome. That's like do the rip test with it.
Yeah, nobody knows how pack rating standards work. All I know is, if you want to see what it looks like, this is what an 8 looks like. And then, oh, I did get a 9. I thought I didn't get any 9s. I'm rich.
Ooh. Why are they in different cases, though?
What do you mean?
Are they? Oh, I thought one was in the. Never mind. I thought I was crazy.
What? This is what a 7 looks like. So this is what a 7 looks like, and this is what a 9 looks like. They're the same picture. I pre-graded these pretty hard. I don't know, but I still gamble. No 10s. 27. I thought I had no 9s, but a 9 just surprised me.
Oh, there we go.
What do you guys think vintage will be regarded as in the next 10 years? WotC fine art ? I think it'll be regarded as Wizards of the Coast encapsulated Pokemon cards. I don't understand the question exactly. I think to some extent there are already people buying it and valuing it as art. But like, what do I think it is? I think it's randomly cards that you get out of a booster pack, and it's my nostalgia, it's my childhood. It's I don't think it will one of one. People will all sell their Banksies and sell their Van Goghs and sell their like Pablo Picassos and buy Pokemon cards because it will be the only acceptable fine art, and all other actual fine art will be trash.
No. Yeah. I think it'll always do well. If Pokemon continues to do well, WotC will always do well. But no, like fine art, no.
Squeaks pushed back. The only reason Pokeflipz is still around is so Dan can put Metazoo, which is why the podcast will never end. I'm doing a horrible job. I've been bad in my last few my last few live streams, and sometimes in Pokeflipz too. People ask me, Dan, what do you think about this spoiler, that spoiler? I have no clue. Like I've not been engaging in the spoilers whatsoever. I really need to. If that's what I'm doing here, I need to be fired because I'm doing a terrible job, and I need to become better at it. I need to up my game on that department.
Is there a big announcement for MetaZoo coming? What was up with your Instagram story the other day? Is that like a big announcement, or is it just like a recap of what's been going on?
Oh, I'm not doing a big announcement. I'm just gonna be pumping my my CGC Fanatics block, and I'm gonna be. I have a video that I teased like 3 months ago that I'm doing more pull rate data. I opened several more cases each of Secret Shadows and Torrential Tides and base set, and I'm just gonna share the pull rate data. So it's nothing. Yeah, it's nothing big. No, actually, it's mind blowing. It's
well, your Instagram story made it seem like it was maybe some crazy revelation or something really cool.
My Instagram story was to pump my.
I thought I was going to watch a damn MetaZoo video, but not anymore.
It actually is. Make sure you watch. Ring the bell. Watch. It's huge. It's going to blow the lid off everything. This changes everything. Mm-hmm. Question: I know you're not fond of variants, but what do you think of the Winter Stamp World's Promo Pikachu? I don't even know if I know what that is. Do I?
I think we looked it up one time, wasn't it? It has some name to it. I think we looked it up one podcast. You know what I just saw? So to answer the question, I don't like the stamp variants, like the champion, top 32, all that stuff.
Me neither.
Someone just posted on Facebook that they won it was a CGC 8.5 2012 champion stamp that they won on eBay from DC Sports for like $2,300. I couldn't believe they were that cheap. I don't follow pricing, but I remember back 2020, 2021, those cards were going crazy.
When did
and now they're 2,500.
Oh, they just won a champion stamp for 2,500.
Yeah,
I can't believe Jake didn't buy that one because he definitely is buying those a decent bit. I don't like them. I've never liked them. Jake gets annoyed at me when I talk down on them because I'm not a variant guy. I don't like variants like that. They are very rare champion stamp. They're only awarded a handful a year. But give me the full art Pikachu. Give me the half art Pikachu. Give me the actual trophy card. We are going to try to wrap up relatively soon. I know we got off the rails there a little bit with all the manga shilling going on. Do y'all feel Spanish speakers are needed for untapped markets like in south of border where Pokemon isn't as big? Maybe a better question for JP from Norlax. Is this a meme that I'm not understanding?
It's gotta be a meme.
I'm gonna say my answer is no say.
Ooh.
4 years of high school Spanish. There we go.
In the streams, they try and get me to learn Spanish some nights during pack tripping, and it's not working very well. I remember a little bit of Spanish, not very much at all though.
Un poco.
No, yes.
No hablas español bien. I could survive a week down in a Spanish speaking country. Relative to I don't know, relative to other things, but relative to my ability to communicate, tango, hambre, comida, taco, nacho. I could communicate that I was hungry. I could dinero. I could exchange. I could probably get by. I think I know enough words that I could probably survive a little bit of time. Dan gets it. Oh man. Let's see. Continuing on. What do you guys think the long-term this is different. What do you think the long-term 10-year outlook on the high-end WotC market will be? Do you think those vintage PSA 10s will go to astronomical prices once supply dries up? I'm not invested in them, so I'm clearly not as bullish on them as I am like sealed product. There's some people in my DMs that get very angry at me. Like, Dan, why are you investing in these pallets of sealed Pokemon product? It's all going to go to zero, and my vintage slabs are going to make a ton of money. I ranted about that last night. It's weird how it's like, great. If you think your vintage slabs are going to do better, buy them. I think there are scenarios where PSA 10 base for his Charizard is multiple $1 million. I think there are scenarios where a lot of the PSA 10 WotC stuff that's currently 1, 5, 10,000, I think there's chance that some of those are hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think there's chance that the illustrators and the trophy Pikachus, the Japanese ones especially, I think there's a chance that there's more cards that are millions and multiple millions of dollars. The upside is crazy, but I think there's a lot of possibility of a lot of stagnation, a lot of flat, a lot of plateauing, a lot of potential downside. So I just like manga, except for this one's closer to me. So simultaneously, I can think that there's a chance that a PSA 10 Charizard goes to $2 million in the next 20 years, and I can also simultaneously not decide to buy it. I can decide that there's better avenues for me to go that I believe in more. And again, just going back to the whole manga thing, going back to the DMs that I have with some people ongoing, it's like, you do what you're doing and I'll do what I'm doing. And I'm not like, I don't even treat it as a competition. I'm going to rant more, and maybe they'll listen to this too.
Maybe they'll be never ending.
I know. No, but like,
turn my computer off here.
I have somebody in my DMs that I've talked to for years, and it's like, they're like, like, my slabs have gone up this amount, and all your Lost Origin, all your Evolving Skies, and all that stuff's flat. And it's like, okay, yes, sure. But like, they're like parading around that their stuff is up as if it's a competition of some kind, when the past however, like, my stuff was going crazy, and it's not like I don't have any of that. In late 2025, early 2026, I bought 6 figures of vintage stuff on a spec that the 30th it would go up, and I made a lot of money doing that. So I still have some. I still have some that didn't go to auction yet, that didn't get sold yet. But it's just so weird. Like 10 years from now, if we're still doing Pokeflipz, whether it will be Squeaks, whether it will be someone else, haha, Dan, like, I made this amount of money in mangas, and you're dumb, you were wrong. It's like, I never said they couldn't go up. I actually said you might 1,000 extra money, and that's great for you. I'm happy for you. I'm proud for you. But the way some people try to make a game of it, like, Dan, you're dumb, you're wrong. Destined Rivals went up 2x, 2.2x since you said it was too high at 250. Okay, great. I had some amount of 151 that almost tripled. I had some amount of 151 sealed product that's 5x. It's like, it's not a competition. It's weird when people try to make it one. Great. I don't know if that's just me. Maybe it's because I've had a hectic week and I'm stressed out a little bit and whatever. But gears have been being slightly ground this week with some of the weird interactions, I'll say.
Ooh, that's the drama we need. Yeah. I don't know. I think I agree with Mason. You get some weird people that you talk to. Yeah, I don't know. I with the WotC thing, there's always going to be more copies. You're never not going to have more copies come out. If we're seeing all these snap cards and trophy cards and illustrators pop up, of course you're going to see WotC all the time. Will the price increase? Maybe. But it's not like I don't. You're never going to have a time where the supply dries up.
Couple more questions and we'll try to wrap up. What are the long-term consequences if more Poke investors consistently do set picking? For example, only buying Ascended and skipping Perfect Order. One thing I'll say, and I'll be quick. If everyone ever starts investing and no one's ripping, like, things get dark really quickly. If there's no attrition, things get really dark. We're not there. Look at the pops, look at the pull rates. But if and when we get there, it will become dark. It will get very hot very fast, and then it will truly Beanie Baby on us.
I do most people who invest in Pokemon buy everything, or do they set pick? So I would argue that most people do set pick. Maybe buy a little bit of everything and then buy more of 151, Ascended, whatever. So I would say it's the same as it is now.
Yeah. Is it playing devil's advocate to tell people that if you're going to trust someone / else another company with your product money that's worth thousands, they should probably read the terms of service?
No. If they wanted you to read the terms of service, make them shorter. Don't make it 1,000-page long. No,
they have to have all the legalese in there.
Take right there. That is terrible.
They have to have the legalese in there. Is MetaZoo dead? Literally haven't followed it in over a year. Have a few sealed boxes tucked away. It still exists, but it is not booming as One Piece and Pokemon and what happened to the whole One Piece thing? Is One Piece crashing? Is it just coming to normal prices?
That's like a good question. It might be a whole manga thing. People pumping One Piece, now it's crashing.
All the One Piece, all the One Piece pump and dumpers are now pumping and dumping mangas. How gross is that? No, I genuinely don't know, but like that made me have that thought. I have no clue. Last I knew, One Piece was booming and it was doubling every week and this and that, and people were leaving Pokemon for One Piece, but now they're leaving for mangas. So yeah, we'll see. Go check out Fanatics live. Go check out go check. They're I don't know what we're at exactly, but
that's a good question. What price do you have it at? Should he buy it from me or you? I've got mine at $24.99.
I'm probably higher than that.
Yes.
I'll go find you my live pricing. So Fanatics, I'm 9 packs for $240.
Oh, so no, you can't even buy 1 pack. You got to buy multiple. Ooh,
I'm $26.60 a pack.
You're more expensive. Oh my god!
I don't have eBay standard envelope. We need to get some Fanatics standard envelope up in here. Then I can do 1 pack. Then I can do it a little bit cheaper. MetaZoo is doing better than Nick's investment in Cryptic. Oh man. Last one. We need to end on a tax one. So PokeMT says for cash basis.
Come on, pick a good one.
For cash basis, do you not have to track inventory? How do you account for cost of goods sold? Seems like a nice way to avoid tracking every single card you buy, but too good to be true. No, it is. Well, most people are improperly using cash basis. If you maintain an inventory, you are not allowed to do cash basis. Most people that claim cash basis are doing it improperly. They're actually preventing themselves from being able to legally do cash basis. So by necessity, if you're cash basis, you cannot track inventory. It's literally money in, money out. That's as simple as it is. So go watch Not Your Dad's CPA. He has some good videos on it. I made a video where I talked about it a little bit last year. I'll make another tax video again sometime soon because it is that time of year. But yeah, with that cash basis, anecdotally, most of the people I've talked to, I think cash basis is the way to go, especially for newer businesses that are going to snowball all their funds. Talk to your accountant, do your own due diligence. But that said, I'm accrual based. Nick, your cash basis probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm accrual. There's arguments for both. There's pros and cons for both. But most people, I think it meets their goals to just be cash basis.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are doing it when they shouldn't. Like they're technically, actually, they're doing things that prevent them from being able to do it. As long as they never get audited, whatever, who cares? See, nobody cares, as always. With that, though, we're done.
We're so down on the totem pole. Just don't pay taxes. What are the chances?
Oh no, hold on. I need to get out of here for the clip. I don't want to be on screen. With that, though, pay your taxes. It's the patriotic thing to do. It's legally required. We're done. It was a fun one. We're booming. We went 20 minutes later than expected and anticipated. But anything in closing, or are we calling it here?
No, I think we can call it here. Thank you guys as always for watching. Do appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my video next Friday.
Check out my video roasting Nick on Monday. I'll link you, Nick. Don't worry. I'll put a card in there. I'll link you. I'll get you a couple extra views. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, hanging out with us as always. We will catch you all later.